right, welcome everybody to another Boxing Podcast, broadcasting to you live from the True North. It's a good friend, Mr. BDA, and I'm glad. That's right, I'm glad that everybody could be on board for this one, fellas. In this episode, we have got a fantastic one for you. This is an open lines post-fight show, which means you guys get to call in, give us your thoughts on anything and everything boxing, all the comments about the fights that just took place. Did anything surprise you? Did anything shock you? Well, you get to tell us, all right, fellas? So make sure to call in. I don't know why the chat's not showing up. It was showing up earlier. Oh, I understand why. It's supposed to show up now. There you go. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Don't forget to hit the like. Really helps us out. Don't forget to donate via the super chat. The phone lines do cost money, so every little bit helps. You can donate via the super chat. You can donate via the Buy Me a Coffee app, link in the description below, or you can join the BDA membership program. That way you get more bang for your buck. But the most important thing is you continue to like, you subscribe, you spread that BDA gospel. Let me just put the number up on the screen real quick here. There it is. Left-hand middle portion of your screen, 320-412-2035. That's 320-412-2035. And I'm going to be putting it up on the marquee here. There you go. Intermittently during the broadcast. So make sure to call in and give us your thoughts on anything and everything about the event. And what an event it was. Compared to the City of Wolves, this was a breath of fresh air. Not a disappointing fight on the card. Although I think some people are probably gonna disagree. Why is everything? Can you guys hear me? There's some crackling there. I think some people are gonna be disagreeing with the scorecards. Probably gonna be disagreeing with the scorecards, but we shall see. I see we got Bucho here. Bucho, you want to give your thoughts on the fights?
Well, I'll just focus because I know we're going to get a lot of phone calls here. Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda. I had it 6-6, actually. I had it closer. These judges, I don't know what the fuck they were looking at. 118, 109. Sorry, 119, 109, 118, 110. I don't know what the fuck. So one judge gave one round to William Zepeda. Now some people are saying, oh, who cares about that? Focus on just the fact that Shakur won. But I'm thinking, like, are these judges competent? So what would have happened if this were, I mean, in my opinion, it was a close fight. So I don't really understand why they gave it 118, 119. So well, what did Zepeda, what could he have done more to make it a 6-6 fight in their eyes?
Yeah, I don't know.
To me, he did enough to get a 6-6. You know, if you want to say Shakur 175, 8-4, I'll be like, okay, there were some very close rounds. He wasn't like an all-out fucking brawl in there. But 119, that doesn't make any sense in my opinion.
We're getting some phone calls already, Bucho. So if you want to give I'm going to ask you a question here in regards to Berlanga, Shiraz. Is Shiraz a dangerous opponent for Canelo? Should Canelo get past Terence Crawford?
Yeah, he's dangerous. So people were saying in the chat like, oh, this isn't a good look for Canelo because he couldn't knock out Berlanga. I'm like, is Canelo 6'3"? Like this guy Shiraz? How tall is Shiraz? I don't know. He's fucking tall. Like he's big. These people forget Canelo's 5'5", and he's been dominating 168 because of his skills. But he's not gonna be knocking out these guys like this fucking Bigfoot Shiraz. So I don't know. These people need to understand the sport of boxing a little bit better.
Yeah, I liked how Shiraz stayed tight in there. He didn't stay straight up. He tucked the chin in, and he punched in between Berlanga's wallops. That was really a masterclass from Shiraz. Showed you everything that you wanted to see and more. Because I thought there were going to be spots where he might struggle a little bit with Berlanga. But man, he just completely outclassed Berlanga. So I expected Shiraz to win, but he certainly exceeded expectations.
By the way, when it comes to Zepeda, some people are saying he was hitting the arms. He was hitting the body as well. And you could see Shakur Stevenson by the round 10. He was looking at the clock. He was looking up, to the roof. I don't know where the clock was. He was looking at it, and then he stopped smiling, and then he started to clinch, and then he started to run at the end. Now, I give him credit for actually not running like he usually does, like a little bitch, like against the Los Santos and all those fights. That actually did happen. I think Shakur fans are extremely happy that he didn't run because, we've been criticizing him. Everybody has been criticizing Shakur for running. So that I think they feel relieved that he didn't run. But again, he was pinned down on the ropes. And by the way, he looked much bigger than the Zepeda. Zepeda, I mean, I don't think Zepeda could have hurt him at all. Like seriously hurt him. I mean, I think his shots were, they were powerful enough to like maybe so Shakur respected Zepeda, but I don't think Zepeda's punches were ever gonna really hurt Shakur Stevenson. So it's gonna be interesting how he fights at 147. I don't know if he's gonna be like that, like laying on the ropes like that, trying to do the Floyd Mayweather, the Philly shell. But yeah.
I actually think Haney might actually hit a tad harder than Shakur Stevenson. I mean, all I'm thinking is what happened to all the people that were saying Shakur Stevenson was going to wash Zepeda. He was going to put on a master class.
That's what they're saying right now. They're saying he was an easy win, whitewash. But I don't know. You look at Zepeda, he looks clean. His face is clean.
Yeah, I don't.
Is this what a destruction looks like, or what is this?
I gotta tell you, Butcher, in the beginning of the week, before you guys set me straight, I picked Zepeda, and I picked Shakur Stevenson, and I stuck to that pick. But by the midweek, I said, yeah, this is gonna be much more difficult than people expect. And you guys were right. You set me straight. Shakur Stevenson. This is the best you're gonna get from Shakur Stevenson. He's not gonna wrestle and dazzle. He's not gonna stop guys. This is the best you're gonna get, and it's pretty good. But I don't understand where people were coming from with the whole he's going to stop Zepeda thing. I think people were getting a little ahead of themselves. Anyway, fellas, don't forget to hit the like. Bucho, I got to go to the phone lines here because the time is ticking and we're on the clock. And there's a lot of people calling in. So let's get to a phone call here. Let's go to, hey, fellas, don't forget to hit the like. Hit the like. Really helps out. Let's go to 832. 832, you're on the air. 832, what's on your mind?
Hello, BDA, can you hear me?
Hold on a second. Let me just boost your volume here. Yes, caller, go ahead. What's on your mind?
This is Elliot. I knew the Shakur fight would end just like this.
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought Zepeda's always been a fighter who his power looks a lot better on the cards, like on paper, than it actually is. He's more of an accumulative puncher that drowns you and makes you quit. And the whole fight, I think, it's not that I don't think Zepeda looked tired. I generally think that he couldn't find an opening to punch, and I think he's being a little bit cautious and trying not to get countered because ultimately his shots weren't having too much of an effect on Shakur. To the body, yeah, maybe, but he couldn't pin him. He couldn't do anything. And I really think you should look at his coach specifically because there were no B plan, no C plan, no feedback on what to do. Basically just setting him straight. That's all I saw from his coach. A part of the Shiraz. So I got that fight correct. I picked Shakur by UD, but Shiraz and Berlanga, I really did not see that coming. I really thought the weight difference and coming up in weight and that power would have much more of a difference, and I really thought he was going to struggle. And I was really surprised seeing Shiraz's performance. Very, very accurate puncher, kept very tight, and I could really see giving a lot of people in the 168 division a lot of trouble. I would love to see him fight Plant. I think Plant would get absolutely battered in that, but it'd be a great fight nonetheless.
Absolutely. And I do wonder how good he's gonna be at 168, because again he did a lot of good adjustments. So we'll see with Shiraz right there. Anything else you want to say, caller, before we move on?
The judges were very questionable, honestly. Specifically in that first fight with what's his name? I'm blanking right here. The guy that lost to Benavides recently.
You talk about the Katai versus Morel fight?
Yes, exactly, that fight, yes. Very questionable judging. Yeah, I did not have that scored. I had that scored for the other dude, not Morel at all. And I think Never Sobers had an interesting theory that I saw in the Discord as well. So they're saying their fighters basically always getting good looks in the cards, like Shiraz and Shakur as well. I think someone said Shakur is Islam. Because also Shakur's scorecards were very wide as well. I don't think, I think giving him only 2 rounds is kind of criminal.
Absolutely. I agree with you there. All right, well, listen, man, we got to move on here, but thank you for your call. Call back next time, right, man? Take it easy out there.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Fellas, don't forget to hit the like. Call in. Bucho, did we just get a Buy Me a Coffee app donation?
Yes, sir. Let me just send it to you. No shit. Take another phone call and I'll send it to you.
Fantastic. Whoever sent that Buy Me a Coffee apps, we're going to read it. Don't worry. Let's go to 410. Is it even working? Yeah, 410. You on the air. 410. What's on your mind?
What's up, guys? Um, Eubank just hit the lottery tonight. I'm a longtime Canelo fan, but I don't see him fighting Shiraz. That's it. That's a bad style matchup for him. That guy's long, lean. He can throw punches straight down the middle, and you can tell he's got good power. He's got that Tommy Hearns, long. He looks kind of skinny, but he can punch like the Dickens. And yeah, you have to compare his performance to Canelo's because Canelo, he uncorked a really quick left hook on Berlanga that put him down, but this guy just demolished him. He could not take those power punches. I got to give Berlanga a little credit because those shots he got hit with, even that first one, probably would have knocked a lot of guys out cold, and he was getting up, but it was no contest. I mean, I don't want to blow Shiraz up too much, right? But I'm just, from what I can see and with my experience, it's a bad matchup. Too much height, too much reach, and the guy punches like the Dickens. I don't know if he beats Canelo, but I just don't think Canelo's going to fight him. I think he'll probably, fight Eubank, depending on what happens in the Crawford fight. But I also want to say about Shakur Stevenson, I didn't agree with the judges' scorecards being that wide, but I thought he won the fight pretty comfortably. Zepeda, we know what he does. He's a lot of times he beats guys because his endurance is better. He's not a good puncher. You could see that. Yeah, you could see his punches were kind of bouncing off of Shakur Stevenson. But where his biggest mistake, I think, is when he get his shots off, he would stand at the wrong range and wait for Shakur Stevenson to punch him back. That's bad. That's bad boxing. If there was anything wrong with the game plan, it was that, because his corner cannot make him punch any harder. So he was doing what he typically does. It's just the punches weren't having any real effect on Shakur Stevenson. Now, I've been a critic of Shakur Stevenson, especially his last 3 fights, but his whole career, he's always been too defensive for me. However, in every one of his fights, except for maybe 2 of the last 3, you can see where he's got the tools. You can see why Ward and Crawford really like him, because he's got tools to be sensational, maybe. Now, I don't know that he was sensational tonight. That was a tough, competitive fight, but it wasn't boring. And that's all fans ask. I'm not asking a fighter to rock and sock anything, and he didn't rock and sock nothing. He did what a boxer's supposed to do. Stay in position to land your punches and be defensively responsible at the same time, and that's what he did. And it was the big counter shots where Zepeda would back off and he'd be at the wrong range and he'd let Shakur get off on him. He either should have fought the fight on the inside or further on the outside when he wasn't able to get close to him, because at that range he was right there to get hit with big overhand shots, and that got the judge's eyes. So it was a matter of activity and output against the clean punching. I had Shakur Stevenson winning by 3 rounds.
All right. Well, listen, that's an interesting take right there, Jerry. Always good to hear from you, and very enlightening. I would ask more questions here, but we got a shitload of phone calls. So if we do another show tomorrow, if we do another show tomorrow or in the next couple of days, I would like to ask you more questions, pick your brain. So shout out to you, Jerry. Thank you for your call. We'll catch you on the next one, right, man? Take it easy.
Thank you.
All right. Don't forget to hit that like, fellas. Hit that like, hit that like, hit that like. Really helps us out. We got a lot of phone calls. Again, this is the BDA open lines show. Got a lot of things going here. An open lines show, that means you get to call in. You give us your thoughts on anything, everything boxing. Let me just give a quick shout out to Double L for giving us a contribution via the Buy Me a Coffee app. And he says, if 1 million people watch Berlanga get KO'd, then I am one of them. If only one person watches Berlanga get knocked out, then that one is me. If no one watches Berlanga get knocked out, then I am no longer on this earth. Shout out to Double L. Very metaphysical tonight. And listen, that was a great result to end the night. I mean, this event, compared to the City of Wolves card, this was a banquet of delicacies. City of Wolves was like having to eat food out of a sewer. Night and day. Night and day. All right, let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 631. 631, you're on the air. 631, what's on your mind?
First, sorry for the background noise. I'm on a train, but I'm glad. I think I want to say 3 out of 4 predictions right. I predicted Shiraz to beat Berlanga. I don't know why anybody thought that was going to be a competitive fight. Berlanga legit does not do a single, and I mean a single thing, as good as Shiraz, and I'm glad that we could see it today. Another thing, the Shakur Stevenson one, I got that wrong, and mainly because I think I forgot to factor in certain things about Zepeda, especially when it comes to people that he's beaten. So one thing you guys might actually not know, and it's kind of a funny fact, you know when people were saying Zepeda would knock out Shakur Stevenson, right? You know which guy Zepeda has actually never knocked out? He's never knocked out a single, and I mean a single champion that has come up from 130 pounds. Didn't knock out Diaz, didn't knock out Farmer the 2 times, and he didn't knock out, I forgot the guy's name, some Nicaraguan dude. I can't remember right now. Rene Alvarado, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't knock out any of those. So I guess like him knocking out Stevenson isn't too surprising. And realistically, when people kind of look at KO percentages, it's messed up to say this, but because he did beat some good fighters going into the Stevenson fight, but he didn't knock out good fighters going into the Stevenson fight. As I said, he didn't knock out a single championship-level fighter going into that Stevenson fight. So you kind of have to look at his power under a microscope and say, well, if you didn't knock out any of those guys, sorry about that, how good can you really be? I'm going to leave this a bit shorter because the honking is happening.
You're going to miss your train, man. You're going to miss your train.
So besides that, I would say... No, I'm on the train. But besides that, I would say I thought the Kataya fight was a robbery, though, you know, I guess I'll say I'm happy because I was right about another prediction for Moreau winning, but I think the Kataya fight was a robbery, and honestly, I think this was a good night of boxing. The only thing that sucked is I was at work, so I could only catch some of the matches at some times, you know.
All right,
Good night. Good night.
Yeah, it was a very good night. Definitely worth the price, especially with the zone. If I paid for the this event and the Usyk one at the same time, so you get 20% off. So good call there, caller. I see you're on the train there, and call back next time, right, man? Take it easy out there.
All right.
Let's move on.
You know what I actually think happened, Bucho? I hope it's not the case. I think he hijacked the train. It's like a Under Siege 2 type scenario. He's got a satellite dish there. He's making demands of the Pentagon right now. Fellas, don't forget to hit that like. Really helps us out. And yes, I got a super chat here from Just Brian. My goodness, this computer today is crackling on me. Shout out to Just Brian for his contribution with the super chat. He says, Canelo versus Shiraz would be a repeat of Canelo versus Callum Smith. Let's not forget that Adames was giving Shiraz a tough fight. Well, you know what's interesting about that is I agree with your point. That is a good point. But then again, I think some people are going to say their counterpoint is going to be, well, that was because Shiraz was killing himself to make 160. Now that he's replenished at 168, it could end up being a different fight. I don't know. I think that's what some people are going to say. I don't really know if Shiraz really was killing himself to make 160. But let me tell you something. This potential Shiraz-Canelo fight certainly just got more interesting. Fellas, don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget super chats. Don't be afraid with the super chats. Don't be shy. They help us out with the infrastructure here as it pertains to telecommunications and taking your calls. This is a BDA Open Lines show. That means you get to call in, give us your thoughts on anything and everything boxing. I keep saying open lines. Actually, it's not open lines. It's open phone lines. Open lines is the other one, so don't want to confuse people. All right, let's go to our phone call. Let's go to 702. 702, you're on the air. 702, what's on your mind?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Just try to get a little bit closer to your your transmitter there, caller.
Okay, is this a little better? Is this better? I apologize. I'm actually out in the battle right now.
It's a little bit better, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So what I saw, I just kind of want to speak on the Shakur Stevenson fight. I think for the people that were saying it was going to be a much more competitive fight than what it was, I don't really understand that how, considering that Shakur is very defensively savvy. I mean, just debating by the fight and just seeing the fight by itself, right? People kind of confuse a high-volume puncher with someone that's going to be the winner of the fight. You know, when you see the fight clearly, you can see Shakur is on the ropes. He's doing the rope-a-dope. He has his shoulder roll up, right? It's hard for Zepeda to even hit him. I mean, he's deflecting all his shots and he's countering as well. So I know a lot of people are saying they saw the fight a lot closer, but I did not see it that way. That's all I wanted to share.
All right. Well, listen, good short call there, caller. Always sweet, short and sweet as always from you. And we'll catch you next one, I suppose, caller. Thank you for your call, man. Take it easy. All right. That was a good call right there. He gave us his opinion and got out of there. He got in and out. In and out. That's the way you're supposed to do it, like a ninja. Let's go to the super chats here. Shout out to Mr. AGR who says, Mr. BDA, I told you I'll be back. Like the Terminator. I predicted Shakur unanimous decision, and all respect to Zepeda. He says Zepeda. The scorecards were too wide. Zepeda. He keeps calling him Zepeda. Zap did well, but the skill gap was the difference. I had it 8-4 Shakur. Well, I got to commend you on the scorecards because I don't know what the judges were watching. I'm not going to congratulate you on picking the favorite, though. I mean, I don't think you should be acting so cocky about that. But shout out to you, Mr. AGR. Thank you for your contribution, man. Really appreciate it. And the lightweight division is still interesting, though. Because now the question is, who's going to get to Shakur Stevenson? Is it going to be Tank Davis? Or is it going to be the winner of Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach? I don't know. But, yeah, shout out to Stevenson and Zepeda for putting on a more entertaining fight than I think a lot of people expected. And shout out to Mr. AGR again for his contribution with the super chat. I don't know what currency that is, though. I hope that's a currency. I hope it's not some sort of illegal...
Nigerian.
Shout out to Nigeria. Hey, what was it, real quick, what was the name of that Nigerian player who says Chelsea might end up upsetting PSG tomorrow?
I forgot.
He used to play for Chelsea, I think. But shout out to Nigeria. We got a lot of, we have quite a contingent of Nigerian listeners. Shout out to Nigeria. And shout out to Emiliano for his contribution with the super chat. He says Shiraz versus Shiraz versus Munguia or winner of Pacheco versus Macombi. Fire. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, Bucho, 168 pounds is repopulating again. There was a while there where it was starting to look a little bit barren, but now it seems to be back. What do you think, real quick?
168. 160 or 168?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming Pacheco's probably going to move up to 168 at some point.
I thought he was already 168. Huh.
Well, he's fighting Macombi, so I don't think Macombi's going down. I think this is a super middleweight fight. Fucking insect. There's an insect around here. Fuck. All right. Hope it's not a bee. All right, let's go to a phone call here. Fellas, don't forget to hit the like. Really helps us out.
Hit the like or we're ending the show. Hit the like or that's it. It's over, man.
Yeah, I think we're going to end up...
Not joking.
If we don't hit... How many likes are we at, by the way? Hold on a second.
No, we're 46.
Okay, I'm getting analytics here, and yeah, come on. Well, it says... I don't know. For me, it says 9. I'm stuck at 9, so... Before
now you get a refresh, man. 46 likes. What is this? Embarrassing.
This is embarrassing. This is ridiculous, fellas. At least 14 people hit that like, so we get to 60. All right? At least 14 people, please. Don't leave us hanging like this. It's not a good look. We need your help, guys. We need your help. Help us, help you. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 925. 925, you're on the air. 925, what's on your mind?
Hamza Shiraz. Canelo is going to whoop that ass. Yeah. Shiraz don't want the smoke, bro.
What?
Canelo's going to come through like a big-ass plane. Shiraz is the Twin Towers, you know what I mean? He going to knock that tall building down.
Come on.
He don't want that smoke. It's
come
true.
On,
it's true. The only reason he knocked out Berlanga is because Berlanga was coming in. When Berlanga fought Canelo, he was running. So, you know, you got to put some respect.
Well, first of all,
respect on Canelo. He can knock that boy down.
But, well, I'm going to ask
that tall tree down.
I'm going to ask the first question of the night. Why wouldn't Shiraz want that fight? It's against one of the biggest names in boxing, and it would be a major payday.
No, he definitely wants that fight, and Turkey wants that fight as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think they, I think last year or early this year, I believe it was last year that said that Shiraz was going to fight Canelo, and I didn't want to see that, you know, because nobody really knew Shiraz. I didn't really know who he was, and I didn't want to see it. But now that he knocked out Berlanga, they're definitely going to push it, especially Turkey. You know, he's the money man. So, yeah, it's going to come down. It's gonna happen soon. But like I said, Canelo, he's too experienced, too good. He's going to knock that big building down.
Now, a lot of people would say, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are saying that in the chat, Canelo hasn't knocked out anybody in about 5-6 fights. So why do you think he would knock out Berlanga? I mean, excuse me, Shiraz. Why would he knock out Shiraz?
Well, as he said after the fight, he said, "I'm not going to run. I'm going to fight, and if I fight Canelo, I'm going to be there to fight." So if he puts on that performance like he did against Berlanga, then Canelo has a chance of knocking him down. You know, he knocked down tall guys before, so I can see it. If he's there to fight and not run like the other opponents who've been facing Canelo lately, he's going to get dropped.
All right. Well, we'll see, man. I'm looking forward to that. Well, I mean,
That's
first
right.
of all, Canelo has to get past Crawford too, though. That's not a given. That's not a given. That's an interesting fight for sure. It's a winnable fight for Canelo.
Yeah, no, definitely. Canelo has a tough task ahead of him. He's going to fight Crawford, but I don't see him losing to Crawford. There ain't no way. So, once he gets past Crawford, he should fight that tall builder and knock him down. But as far as the Morrell fight, I feel like Morrell lost. And then the Puello fight, I feel like he was a defending champion. He's the WBC champ, so I don't think Matias did enough to take that belt away.
All right.
And Shakur Stevenson, man, what a fight! You guys got to put respect on my homie Shakur Stevenson.
I mean, I give him the standard respect. I mean, I'm not going to give him high praise for doing something he should have done a long time ago. But you're right, though. It was better than expected, that's for sure. All right, listen, caller, thank you for your call. Call back next time, right, man? Good call. Take it easy out there.
All right.
By the way, somebody in the chat said BDA had a couple of drinks tonight. I sure did. I hadn't drank in a long time, and my resistance is very low resistance. So if I screw up a couple of things here or there, give me some credit. Give me some slack. It's fucking almost midnight here. All right. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 214.
What y'all talking about?
214. You're on the air. 214. You're on the air.
Bro, y'all are what, bro?
Oh my god. 214.
BDA, you hear me?
Yeah, 214. You're on the air. Go ahead, man.
You hear me, BDA?
I can hear you, 214. Please go ahead. He hung up, man. All right. Let's go to call back, all right? Please, I wanted to hear it. Call back. Let's go to our phone call here. Let's go. By the way, actually, hold on. Let me check the likes here. We're at... I got to refresh this shit. I don't like refreshing it because then it opens up another
We are
check.
at, I'll tell you what, 68.
All right, good. I said 14 people hit the like and more than 14 people hit it. So shout out to you, Phil. Whoever hit the like, shout
Let's
out
get
to you.
to 100. Let's get to 100. 100.
Which are jumping ahead already. Why not?
Round it up.
Let's round it up. Let's
We
go
can
to
do
our
it.
phone.
I believe.
Sure. No, you can do it. You guys can do it. I believe in you. Let's go to our phone call here. Let's go to 323. 323. You're on the air. 323. What's on your mind?
What's going on, you guys? I'm just watching the fight again because
Which fight?
I'm so happy. The Shiraz and dipshit fight because I just want to see Edgar Berlanga get knocked out again. I love it. I called it, but people made fun of me because they were like, "Oh, Shiraz doesn't have any power. Shiraz, no, he's not going to knock him out." I'm so fucking glad. I want that motherfucker to go away or shut up. I hope he's one of those guys that after he loses, he's like, he got knocked out in front of Fat Joe and it was the best feeling ever. Anyway.
Wait, I got a question. Who was giving you crap for picking Shiraz by stoppage? Name names.
What I really wanted to talk
We
about
want names.
Was how... What was that?
Who gave you
names?
crap?
What names?
Who gave you crap for picking Shiraz? You said people were making fun of you.
Well, listen, I'm just glad I saw Edgar Berlanga get knocked out by Shiraz.
Right.
That was like the best thing.
All
but
right.
I gotta say, what I really wanted to talk about was how one-dimensional William Zepeda is, how predictable his punches were, and how I really appreciated how Shakur Stevenson stood in the pocket and traded with this dude. I liked his punch selection, was a lot better. William Zepeda, man, I mean, they've got to work on something. I think the guy's got a couple more years of this high volume, high output punching before he starts slowing down. And I think he only has like maybe a year or two left at the elite level. He could probably be world champion, but I don't really see him going that far. I mean, it was a pretty poor display of skill with Zepeda. I mean, he's got a good engine. He's got great output, but his shot selection was fucking dog shit, dude. Look at that. It was so predictable. I mean, and once Shakur figured it out, you could see the big divide. I mean, I had it 8-4 Shakur Stevens. And I think Shakur Stevenson, he should have been, you're right. No, he should have been fighting like this a while back, but he got pressured. I'm glad. You know what I'm really glad about? That Turkey brought in another opponent for another guy coming into the fight. I mean, after the fight. Those are the kind of things we want to see. This is accountability I want to see with boxing, and I'm glad I bought both events as well. So I can't wait to see more of these exciting fights. And that's it, man. You guys have a good night.
Hey, but hold on, Don Madrasos. People in the chat are saying, first of all, thank you for your call. Really appreciate it. But people in the chat are saying they want the Don Madrasos list to be released. Where is the Don Madrasos list? People want it. He hung up. He doesn't want to release that list. Next time he calls in, I'm going to ask him, hey, Don Madrasos, what about the list? And he's going to go, excuse me, hold on. You're still asking about that? You're still asking about that creep? That list is long gone. Forget about it. I can't believe you're still talking about it. That's what he's going to say. Like the Epstein list. Unbelievable. He doesn't want to talk to us about the Don Madrasos list. All right, well, listen. The phone number is right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. Don't forget to call in. This is your show. You guys get to give us your thoughts on anything and everything boxing. Let's go to our phone call. Let's go to 732. 732, you're on the air. 732, what's on your mind?
Hey, how you doing, brother? Shout out to you guys calling from New Jersey. I've actually been a fan of you guys for a couple months now. I found my way here from another YouTube boxing content creator, Blue Collar Sports TV. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
Oh, yeah, Del Boy. Shout out to Del Boy. Yeah.
Just wanted to say Yeah, big fan of his, and he mentioned you guys, so I started following. But anyway, I don't want to be too long-winded. I just wanted to make a few comments, if that's all right. I won't be too long-winded, but I wanted to make a comment specifically on Edgar Berlanga and Hamza Shiraz. Now, the point I'm going to try to make really just revolves around the September fight between Canelo and Crawford. There's a lot of people going back and forth about that fight, and giving Crawford this rise to greatness opportunity that he's going to be taking on Canelo. Now, I know this channel I'm not sure if you guys are fans of Canelo or not, but I think Canelo's previous fights just shows that, to me, this is a cherry pick on Crawford. And I know that sounds a little bit ridiculous because he's moving up in weight, but if you've been following both guys' careers, they're essentially the same weight class. And this just proves, with Hamza Shiraz demolishing Edgar Berlanga in, 5 rounds? Really 4. That should have been stopped at 4. That Canelo doesn't have that same punch selection, punching power, and variety that he did at 60 or when he first moved to 68. So that fight, honestly, is a kind of pardon me if I'm being dramatic, but I feel like it's a guaranteed points decision win for Crawford. Given what we've been seeing, like every fight we've seen thus far that every fight that we've seen Canelo face, they've looked shit their very next fight after not taking really that much punishment in the fight with Canelo. I didn't think Berlanga took a whole heap and host of punishment. I think it was kind of back and forth. I know Canelo dominated the fight on points, but it really wasn't that. Am I being dramatic? It really wasn't that dominant. Like, he wasn't getting his ass whipped. Same goes with Munguia. Same goes with John Ryder. Canelo's a great fighter. He's actually back in the day, he was one of my favorites because of his dynamism, like his versatility. It's only logical to think that a guy who's been in 67 plus fights, been in wars with punching gods like Triple G, he's going to be slowing down. I mean, we're fucking human beings. He's made out of the same flesh, the same human biology everybody else is. Crawford has not been taking the type of punishment, and I feel the reason why and like I said, people in your comments are probably going to be raging at me because I'm using the word cherry, but I lack the proper term to use in this very moment. But let's just use cherry for now. Crawford has cherry-picked Canelo because he's on the extreme slide, in my opinion. And he essentially just ducked 154, which, in my opinion, is probably the most dangerous division in boxing. Yeah, he fought, that guy, that that Uzbekistani guy. Yeah, he fought him, but there's punchers and real boxers at 154 that he could have fought. He could have fought Boots, which would have been a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. But he's cherry-picking Canelo to get to, obviously, the biggest fight of his career. And by the way, I'm not talking shit because I actually like Crawford a lot. But I also am a fan of boxing. I like more competitive You want competition after you cherry picked a depleted Spence. By the way, I listened to the doctor report that you guys had on your channel. After you fought a depleted Spence, and now your fame is like, nationwide now. You don't fight the tough guys in your next division. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the reason I wanted to call and make a point that Shiraz just kind of proved Canelo is. I don't know, man. I want to say done. What do you guys think? I think he's done. The fucking what's that guy? The Cuban guy he just fought, Skull. That fight just cemented it even more. I know he ran, but damn, no damage at all. None. They didn't even give the guy he wasn't even tired. Nothing like, you know what I mean? Well, that's the reason why I'm assuming Canelo is done, brother.
Go ahead, Bucho. Go ahead.
No, I was saying if Canelo was the size of Shiraz, he'd be knocking these guys out. All of them at 168. But let's remember, this guy's 5'7", and he's 33 years old.
But that's the thing, though.
Down.
But that's the thing, though. Canelo was knocking these guys out. He was knocking these guys out. The Canelo from 2021. I wouldn't even sign up to watch the Crawford fight. I wouldn't at all. The Canelo from the Billy Saunders fight. It wouldn't even be. It'd be stupid. He would get the same treatment Billy Saunders got because of the weight difference, and because Canelo had that same athleticism.
He broke Billy Joe Saunders' eye socket. He couldn't stop Callum Smith.
Right.
Who else did he fight at 168?
Well, hold on. Let me just say. Let me clarify. That 2021 year really seems to have set the bar high for Canelo because he stopped Yildirim, who Yildirim is a quitter. Then he stopped Billy Joe Saunders, and he caught him with a good shot, but he didn't knock him out. And then he stopped Caleb Plant. But I think that year, 2021, it really set the bar high for Canelo, where people are expecting him to knock opponents out. And if he doesn't knock him out, it's a disappointment. I mentioned this on Friday's show. I mentioned this yesterday on Friday's show. I said, look, Canelo went the distance with Cotto. Couldn't stop him. He couldn't stop Julio Chavez. He slapped him around, but couldn't put the finishing touches. This is the Canelo that and on top of that, if you look at his CompuBox numbers or punch-stat numbers, he's throwing about the same amount of shots. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but he's right there. It's the same stratosphere. So this is the same Canelo. You make some good points, and I certainly haven't been entertained too much by his recent fights. But in a way, if you've been watching Canelo for a long time, you should know that this is what he's always been like. Maybe at 154, he threw a couple more combos, but now he's in love with that sledgehammer style, but he's still throwing about 450 to 530 shots per fight. He still
dropped 4 out of his last 5 opponents.
What about the upper body movement? What about the movement that he had in the Jacobs fight or prior fights? There's no upper body. It's just all parry, not even parrying. It's just all high guard blocking. He's not doing any of that. And listen, like I said, I'm not trying to hold him to this immortal.
He doesn't need to. What would that have changed in a fight against Berlanga? Instead of taking the punches on his gloves, he's moving his head. What would that have changed? He would have still won the fight by decision. Like nothing would have changed.
I understand, but did he have to take? Listen, I'm not a boxer, but for fun and hobby, I spar all the time. And I can tell you that even punches on the arms, or if you're blocking it, side by side, that's still damage. Why does anybody want to? If you can slip it, if you can avoid it by inches or millimeters like he was doing prior, why would you sit there and take those beatings? And Berlanga, I hate him. I'm so happy he got knocked out. So why would you want to take those punches from a...
Canelo's not taking a beating. Canelo's not taking anything he doesn't want to take. Like, look at his face. Well, after a fight? He looks pretty okay.
Well, I'll say this because we're gonna move on here to other calls. But caller, that is a very astute observation that he doesn't do the matrix style upper body movement that people want to see from him. My counter argument to that would be that if you who was it? There was a coach. It wasn't Kenny Weldon. It was another guy. He said a lot of guys when they start boxing they want to do that. They want to move the head, look like Pernell Whitaker or Canelo Alvarez. But then the easier thing and more energy saving is to actually parry and block. You're right. You feel him more, especially against punchers. But if you get the right technique, that actually saves more energy. So there are positive sides to one approach, and then there are negatives as well for either one.
I understand.
But I mean, listen, we're gonna talk about. You brought up some interesting points. We're gonna talk about more of that as the fight approaches, because we're gonna be trying to do a lot of shows for that, a lot of discussion certainly about that. But caller, very good call. By the way, what do we call you?
No, listen. I think you. My name is Chris, and I thank you guys for having me on. But just before I go, because like I'm a big fan and I love your community. Just want everybody to know I don't have anything. I actually like both fighters, Canelo and Crawford. I think they're amazing talents. I'm just pointing out what I believe is blatant obvious. But listen, thank you very much for having me. Now I'll tune back in.
All right, thank you for your call, Chris. Take it easy, man. Have a good night. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes people do have to say that, like, like I don't mean it. It shouldn't even be said, but it's true. Some people take,
this is the boxing debate arena. We're gonna disagree. We're gonna agree. I mean, it's not nothing. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, you can say pretty much whatever you want. Even if insults, we let them go. Sometimes we don't even snap back. But Chris certainly Chris certainly wasn't disrespectful. He just has a different opinion. That's the point of this show. We want different opinions. Especially today, because this is the call-in show. You guys get to call in, give us your thoughts on everything boxing, everything that transpired in tonight's event. Don't forget to hit that like. Really helps us out. Let's go to our phone call here. Let's go to 210. 210, you're on the air. 210, what's your mind?
Hey, BDA, thank you for having me. This is Abel Empire calling out of Texas. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Abel. What's up, man?
Hey, no, just calling to talk about the fights tonight. I thought Ring 3 was a great success. It clearly blew Ring 1 out the water. I'm happy the fans got to tune in and see some good fights tonight. I just want to give a shout-out to Shiraz. I think he looked sensational tonight. What he did with Andy Lee in this camp, he looked more poised with his punches. He got Berlanga out of there. You know, he looked good. I don't want to see him in personally against Canelo next. I would like him maybe to fight the winner of Pacheco Macombi, or maybe with Sanders, the guy that just beat Caleb Plant. Get a little bit more experience, with Andy Lee. They got a good oil machine there. They keep working at it, Andy Lee, he's helped out the Gypsy King. He was a good fighter himself. And I really saw the improvement in Shiraz tonight. He looks like a real threat at a 168 if he keeps up with this team that he's got. And Shakur Stevenson. Obviously, I believe Shakur Stevenson separated himself from who's better between him and Devin Haney. He earned all kinds of fans tonight. There were times where he stood in the pocket and he went to war with Zepeda, and then there were times where you saw the sweet science, where he was counter-punching, where he was, just trying to lure Zepeda to almost, rope-a-dope him. I mean, he looked great. Shakur looked great tonight, and I hope we get to see him again. I would like to see him in personally against that young kid, Kid Austin, the one who is his original opponent over there in Riyadh. Obviously, Kid Austin just slept Kevin Farmer, and I think that's De La Hoya's only shot at maybe getting back at Shakur Stevenson if he puts his young Kid Austin in the ring with Shakur. But I thought Shakur was good. I thought Shiraz was great. And lastly, Morel looked good to me, but unfortunately, I don't think I think he fell short tonight. But it's okay. It happens. It was a close competitive fight, and I thought all the fights were good tonight. Ring 3 was a total success. Turkey delivered, and I cannot wait for Ring 4.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Abel. Like they say, third time's a charm. We certainly saw that tonight. So shout out to you, Abel, and thank you for your call. Call back next time, man. Take it easy out there.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me. And I just want to give one last shout out to my cousin Jesse Bam Rodriguez. He's fighting Cafu next Saturday. He trained real hard for this fight. If he wins, we will hopefully see him in Ring 4 on the David Benavidez Yardie against Puma Martinez.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. All right. Shout out to Bam. Shout out to you, Abel. Thank you for your call, man. Take it easy.
Thank you guys. BDA all the way. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, man. Bam next week. Usyk next week as well. We were certainly boxing this summer is shaping up to be quite a good one. Don't forget to hit that like, fellas. Hit that like. It really helps us out. Don't be shy with the super chats. They help us out with the infrastructure here. Shout out to Rafael Garza for his contribution with the super chat. He says, allegedly Tank rabbit punched the lady. Ah, man, that is if that's a big if, because again, I don't know the facts, but if that's what happened, that is about as bad as running over a pregnant lady and then fleeing the scene. But again, innocent until proven guilty. All right, let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 763. 763. You're on the air. 763. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
All right, hold on. Before we continue, caller, just do me a favor. If you're on the Bluetooth, get off it, please, because I can't hear you. And try to get as close to the phone as possible, please, because I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you hear me better?
Yeah, let me boost up your volume. Go ahead. Yes, please.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me up. It was a great card tonight. I feel like Matias. I feel like that was a robbery. You know, it seems like every week there's always one robbery on the card. So Matias, he did put up a good fight. He's coming forward with the pressure. I don't feel like he won that fight though. But
Yo, we can't hear you, man. Sorry, you're too far away from the mic. We can't hear you.
Man, let me.
Can you hear me better?
Oh, much better. Yeah, much better now. Please go ahead. Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but Matias, I feel like Matias, there was a robbery with the Matias fight. He did come forward. He was a warrior with it, but I felt like there was a robbery, but he didn't do enough to beat the champion. The champion definitely put on a good fight and a good battle. You know what I'm saying? He won the war and the battle as a champion. But I think Matias just had a bigger name, and that's why he was able to win that fight. But I thought Shakur put on a defensive clinic that we haven't seen before. Shakur has maybe changed the style of fighting. Like nobody talks about his last fight. He wasn't running in his last fight, and it's not his fault that Kid Austin pulled out of the fight and he had to fight the electrician. But when he did fight the electrician, he stood right there in the pocket. One thing we know about Shakur, though, like he can swim and not get wet when it comes to boxing, and he showed that tonight. He put on a defensive clinic. You know, Zepeda is known for throwing 100 punches per round. You know what I'm saying? At the bare minimum, at that, and we seen it tonight. Shakur put himself in the corner. He put himself on the ropes. I was sitting there watching the fight, like, what are you doing? Get off of the ropes. Get out of the corner. He still was not getting hit at all. That's gotta be intimidating for everybody else at the 135-pound. Listen, he can't do that against somebody like Tank. I don't think he can stand there and just take punches and rope-a-dope against a Tank. But he does have enough in his bag. He showed he's got enough in his bag to be able to be looked at and known as the top at 135.
Well, let me ask you real quick, caller. Let me ask you real quick. If Tank Davis fights the way he fought Frank Martin, which he put the earmuffs up and he pressured, do you think he could, would you favor him to beat Stevenson that way?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because before these last three fights, when Shakur got the reputation of running and all of that, I was one to believe that Shakur's best defense was his offense. And then we got to see it in the De Los Santos fight and the fight before that, where if he gets hit with a guy with some power, he's going to be on skates. He's going to be moving around and running. But if you're just going to stand there with his earmuffs on, which a lot of guys did when he was fighting at 130 and when he came out at 126, and he was stopping people. He was stopping people at that weight class. His offense was his defense. So we didn't really know if he could take a punch or if he could, slip the way that he did tonight. Tonight he showed that he's a complete fighter. He can come forward, he can walk a guy down, he can sit back on the ropes, he can sit in the corner. He can be a counter puncher. We know him for his offense. We know him for coming forward, breaking guys down to the body, stopping guys early. One of the things is, though, too, at 135, he's grown into that weight class. I think if we seen him fight De Los Santos again, it would be a different looking fight because he's grown into that weight class. Even though his hands are hurting and his hands are messed up, he's got to consult with Floyd, and that's what we got to see tonight.
Floyd.
It's him being in such good shape that he's going to drag it out into the later rounds. He's going to save himself because his hands are weak. He's going to save himself, and then when he steps on the gas,
we shall see. We shall see because he wasn't a big puncher at 130, 126, and he's not a big puncher here. So if he moves up, he's going to have to rely on his...
it's not necessarily him being a big puncher. He was getting stoppages though. That's where he was getting his stoppages at 130, at 126 when he first came in his debut. He was stopping guys at that weight. He wasn't stopping guys at 135.
Real quick, because we got to move on soon. But he was stopping, like you said, up and coming when he was up and coming. But when he fought guys like Pitufo and Joed Gonzalez, he wasn't getting those stoppages. So, and even less now at 135. So, what I was going to say was, if he moves up to 140, he really is going to have to milk all the skill and the speed and the reflexes that he has, because he was hitting Zepeda with some shots, and Zepeda wasn't even reacting to them. So. On the flip side to that coin is not a lot of guys are going to be able to pressure the way Zepeda was, but we'll see what happens. There's two sides to that coin. Listen, we got to move on, caller, but excellent points. Call Mike next time, right? Take it easy out there.
I appreciate it.
All right, take it easy. Thank you for calling in. Yeah, we got to get some super chats here. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. The phone number's right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. Make sure to call in, and hit that like. Really helps us out. Shout out to Don Madrazos for his contribution via the super chat. He says, hold on a second, he says, I will release the prediction files regarding Berlanga versus Shiraz when I'm good and ready. I will not indulge these creeps, he says. Don't bring it up anymore! Exclamation point. All right, so Don Madrazos is giving us that directive. We got to move on now to Usyk and versus Dubois 2. We got to move on to Bam versus Cafu, tonight's fights, but no more of the Don Madrazos files. What do you think about that?
Well, not yet. Soon. We're going to move to the Usyk fight. We're going to get to that one. Don't you worry.
Shout out to Don Madrazos. Really appreciate his contribution. Don't forget to call in, fellas. Call in. This is your show.
Did you read the Rafael Garza super chat?
Yes, I did. Shout out to everybody. Don't forget to hit that. Don't forget to hit that like. The phone number's right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. Let me pull it up here. Butcher, real quick, man. They say never kick somebody when they're down. But De La Hoya was certainly attacked in a vehemently, by Edgar Berlanga in the build-up to this fight. Even though De La Hoya's fighter was not fighting Berlanga, but they still went at it. I just saw this video here that somebody tagged me in on, hold on a second. By the way, how do I can share my screen but not HD, because then it's all right. I'm gonna lower the quality here. But Bucho, this is Oscar De La Hoya had some choice words for Edgar Berlanga after Berlanga's loss to Hamza Shiraz.
Oh my God! Shiraz, congratulations, Berlanga! Oh my God, you got knocked out! Oh my God! Oh, something Canelo Alvarez couldn't do.
All right. First of all, Bucho, how high is De La Hoya in that clip? Do you think?
I couldn't watch it. It's not loading. So, anyways, you tell me what happened.
Well, he's wearing a wig, and he's saying, "Oh, Berlanga, you got knocked out. You know something Canelo Alvarez couldn't do." He has a wig on. And I'm thinking, did he, on his way to his private jet, did he stop at a store to buy a wig? Where do you buy wigs at that time of the night? Or did he already have it with him?
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Holy shit. Well, he's happy. And Berlanga got destroyed. I mean, he got destroyed. He wasn't even competitive. Well, it was competitive for a little bit, but I mean, it was a definitive win for Shiraz. So he must be extremely happy.
By the way, at the end, he had to take a dig at Canelo there at the end, calling him, saying Canelo couldn't knock out Berlanga, and he called him Canelo Alvarez. But this is where De La Hoya makes himself look bad, because he was bending over for Canelo when he had him as a fighter. Remember, Canelo tested positive for clenbuterol under De La Hoya's auspice, and this is what De La Hoya had to say about Canelo at the time in 2018. This was clenbuterol that was in meat, in tainted meat. So look, everybody in Mexico, he says, knows about the big problem they have with clenbuterol in their meat. And in Mexico, he's a bigger star than ever. So I don't think his career will be tainted whatsoever. I think once he beats Golovkin in spectacular fashion, people will forget about it here in the States. But now he's attacking Canelo for it. So which one is it, De La Hoya? Was Canelo absolved by the WBC and with the hair follicle test, or is he still Canelo Alvarez now that you don't have him anymore under your stable?
He should have stopped at making fun of Berlanga, and then that's it. But he had to bring up Canelo.
He
yeah,
overreached.
Does not look good. Not look
He
good.
overreached. He overreached. And I'm just pointing out facts. I think I see people in the chat don't like it. But hey, we point out facts here. And I think it's a salient fact to point out. Because like Bucho said, I think it's in the art of war, isn't it? Sun Tzu, didn't he say something about not overspreading yourself when you're fighting an enemy? Don't start fighting two enemies at once if you don't have to. So just a little knowledge right there from old Sun Tzu. Skull Kid 20, yeah, I think that's him. Okay, yeah. Shout out to Skull Kid 25 for his contribution to the super chat. He says, "Saludos BDA and Bucho." Well, saludos right back at you, Skull Kid. Thank you for your contribution, keeping it short and sweet. And shout out to Frankie Sainz for his contribution to the super chat. He says, "Canelo's recent cherry got popped. How do you defend that as a quality opponent for your hero? Pound for pound trash." Is he chastising Canelo for the Berlanga? I mean, I don't know. I when Mayweather would 12-0 guys, they give him credit. I mean, look at Zepeda, Shakur Stevenson. They're giving Shakur Stevenson for beating Zepeda by decision, but the people were saying he was going to stop him. But you don't see too many people criticizing him for that. For some reason, Canelo, if he doesn't stop guys, that means he's trash.
I mean, I think we all agree Berlanga is not a big deal. Like nobody's saying, "Oh, this is Canelo's biggest win." Nobody's saying, "Oh, look at his highlight reels against Berlanga." Nah, it was a shitty fight.
Yeah, but just by saying that, Bucho, you're not agreeing with them. Therefore, you're a Canelo dig rider. That's the way people.
I mean, he's
see
the best super middleweight. That's just the fact.
We got phone calls, fellas. Phone calls. Phone numbers right there in the left hand middle portion of your screen. Make sure to call in. Bucho, can you read a couple of the super chats? I mean, the chats here, just real quick.
Yeah, we have some people say we have recognized. He says it was all fun in. Oh, I don't know what he's saying. Quentin says that Hoya being a hypocrite while his fighters continue losing. That is true. DJ Big Leg says, "I feel that Dubois didn't deserve the Usyk fight for docking Joseph Parker." Yep, a lot of people think the same thing as you. Let's see what else are people saying. Windy City says, "God bless Oscar, the best promoter." Yep.
The reason why, yeah, we got. I'm waiting for phone calls here, but should we invite more people, or how do we approach this?
Yeah, get this is recognizing here, Gonzalo.
I'm gonna go to the like the main room there, the one that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Don't forget the phone number's right up there. We're gonna leave it up for a little bit more. Usually we get more phone calls, but I guess people weren't scintillated by what happened. Hold on a second. How do I call people? Oh, you can't call in people here for this one. Now, Bucho, I thought we could call people from this place.
I can send links.
Yeah, please do that. And okay, read the chat, please, because I do have to take a latrine break. I've been drinking a lot of water.
Okay, so let me read the chat, and let me give you guys my thoughts on Zepeda, because people are still talking about it. Like my prediction was Zepeda wins by majority decision. I got it wrong, obviously, but still, I had the fight a draw. Maybe Shakur wins 7-5, 8-4, fine, whatever. But still, I don't understand why some people are they're telling me, "Oh, I told you, Shakur's this great boxer. That's he can do everything." Based on, I mean, how would I have known that this guy could actually stand in front of Zepeda when he never did it against anybody else? Like, so you didn't have any evidence. You were just wishing and hoping that this guy would do it. But from what I remember was Shakur running around the ring against the Los Santos. Fighting dirty against Conceição and so on. So there was really no evidence for him to do what he did tonight. But even if we break down what happened tonight, I saw Shakur Stevenson pinned down on the ropes. Really, hoping. I mean, he wished he could have clinched, but he knew he couldn't really clinch because His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh told him not to fight like a little bitch. Oh. So he had to hold back on the clinching. But, I mean, was it really that big of a performance? I mean, you look at Zepeda's face. I mean, did he really take that much punishment? Not really. And again, Shakur was looking at the clock at the end. He stopped smiling. He looked somewhat tired. The body shots were taking effect. Obviously, even Antonio Tarver pointed it out. He's like, he must be feeling those body shots. His legs are not moving in the same way as they did earlier, and that was the Shakur that we saw today. Now, what's the Shakur that we're gonna be seeing tomorrow? Well, I don't know. I mean, is he gonna fight like that against Tank Davis? Is he gonna fight like that against bigger guys at 140?
Well, that's the big
questions that need to be asked. A lot of Shakur fans right now are celebrating, like he. And by the way, these Shakur fans were saying that Zepeda is easy work. He's a one-dimensional fighter. He's not going to cause any problems, but he did cause problems.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I picked. I'm right on the. I was right on the money with the prediction. Surprisingly, because usually I overthink him. In this case, I said Shakur Stevenson is going to win a decision, but it's going to be a lot tougher than people expect. And because listen, when I say people, I'm not imagining things. I'm not, making shit up. The people on Twitter specifically who are infatuated with Shakur Stevenson, they were saying he was going to wash him, he was going to stop him, he's going to stop him to the body. Never came close to that. And that's why I was telling people is, look, I told people prior to the Hartunonian fight, stop expecting this guy to knock out high caliber guys. He's not that guy. Imagine if people would have done that with Pernell Whitaker back in the day. That's the guy that they keep comparing Shakur Stevenson to. Imagine if you would have gone into the against not Patterson. What was his name? Tough contender that he fought, journeyman, or against Madomero Pais, or against one of the greatest too in the Ghanaian fighter. What was his name again? Who lost to Salvador Sanchez? The professor. What was his name? Fuck, I can't believe I'm zooming out here. Azuma, thank you. Azuma Nelson. Imagine if you went into all those fights that I just mentioned thinking, hey, Pernell's going to sit down on his shots, man. He's going to put on a clinic. He's going to stop it. I think he can stop it. He never could. So that's the thing with Shakur Stevenson. Stop putting it in your mind that he's going to turn into Roy Jones and start scoring flash knockdown. He doesn't have that type of power. In fact, I would venture to say Devin Haney actually might hit a little bit harder than he does. But he was still, listen, he won, just like we expected, but I don't understand why some people, and it's not that many, by the way, Bucho. I don't see that many people. I think a lot of people got a reality check tonight.
Can we go to the prediction list? Oh, you don't have it. I have it. Okay,
no.
Well, I'll check into it.
But in terms of the Shiraz fight, because that's the one that really, isn't it interesting how about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, super middleweight was a barren wasteland. Canelo cleaned out the division. Then there was the Benavides fight. They went back and forth for a couple of years, never got that one done. And then you were thinking, well, all right, what's next? Like, what's going to happen? And again, Canelo still has to get past Terence Crawford, and I think Crawford has a path to victory in that one. Not that I'm picking him to win, but what I'm saying is Canelo would still have to get past him. But now things get very interesting with Hamza Shiraz. And is it interesting, Bucho, how that's boxing for you? All a guy has to do is get one great win, and when I say great performance rather. One fantastic, scintillating performance, and boom, you get yourself a fight on the horizon. That's all boxing needs.
Well, no, that's true. That's true. And then Shiraz, let's not forget, he looked terrible against
Adames.
Adames. Some people even say he lost that fight. Now he knocks out Berlanga, and now Canelo is afraid of Shiraz. Some people are saying he's not going to take that fight. Why would he take that risk? He's such a big risk. Wow, how things changed from that Adames fight to the Berlanga one.
That's a great point, because when the Sheik said that, when the news came out that either Eubank or Shiraz were on the horizon for Canelo, Shiraz, cherry pick, blah, blah, blah. Now I actually saw a couple of people saying, I don't think Canelo fights him. I don't think Canelo fights Shiraz. So how things quickly change. But see, that's the power.
And these are the same people that were saying Berlanga is a bomb. And now Shiraz, using their logic, just knocked, or their interpretation of who Berlanga is, Shiraz just knocked out a bomb, and now Canelo's afraid of this guy.
I mean, I don't have the brain power right now to make sense of what some of these people say. It's really, you tie yourself in a knot trying to.
Well, they're impressed with the Berlanga win. Okay, fine, but
wait a minute,
you weren't impressed when Canelo. They're impressed with Shiraz defeating Berlanga. And this is supposed to inflict fear on Canelo, but when Canelo beats Berlanga, he looked like shit. Who did he fight? Who's that?
Recognize the Matrix in the chat says, Canelo is ducking Shiraz. I said it, and what? Well, you know what? Them's fighting words right there. Recognize. You better jump on the panel. Jump on the panel right now. All right. What else was I going to say? No, but in all seriousness, that's the power of a knockout performance or a stoppage performance. It scintillates the crowd and it titillates the imagination, and that's why you need this type of boxing. Look, with Shakur Stevenson, some people are saying, "Oh, you see, he can, he made you see that he can fight on the inside." He had to fight on the inside because people pressured him to. If it wasn't for people like us on this channel and others like Thunderdome and Never Sobers, he would have been content with boxing. And by the way, I'm not just saying that I want people to trade and all that or to stand their ground a little bit more because it's more entertaining for me, but because it actually lets us see the true potential of a fighter. I want to harken back to the example that I keep giving. When O'Shaquie Foster fought Rocky Hernandez, he was back foot bitching it. He was leaping back. His back was hitting the ropes, and as soon as his back hit the ropes, he would clinch. And the referee warned him for it. So what happened? O'Shaquie Foster had to fight. And yeah, he almost got his ass knocked out, but he ended up stopping Rocky Hernandez. And then when they showed the scorecards, turned out that Hernandez was ahead. So if O'Shaquie Foster would have back foot bitched it the way he was doing, he would have probably lost the decision. But he actually had to dig down. He showed us the warrior inside of him, and he ended up winning. And imagine if Shakur Stevenson would have back foot bitched it the way he did against De Los Santos and Nakatila tonight. You never know. Maybe nothing much happens and the judges don't know what to do, and maybe two judges give Zepeda a close decision. That way we saw with Matias and Puello. So this is why we put pressure on guys, because we set the bar high for them. We want them to impress us and for them to impress themselves. I don't know. I see a lot of these dudes, they don't believe that they can actually put on great performances. So that's what we do over here at the Boxing Debate Arena. We set the bar high for these guys because we got high expectations from them. And we're not going to even hand out cookies for them doing what they were supposed to do a long time ago. We got Vessel.
By the way,
yeah.
Just quickly, remember that, I don't know if you guys saw the face-off. What's it called? The table when they're facing off and they're talking? What's it called?
Yeah, face-off, yeah.
I think it was called the Goon-Off.
The Goon-Off. When they had the Goon-Off, Shiraz and Berlanga, remember, he was saying, when Canelo was hitting me, I told him, come on, go suck a dick. Something like that. Like he was acting tough because he was taking Canelo's shots. 5'7" Canelo. That's what people don't understand. This guy's not a super middleweight. You see the difference when a natural super middleweight, or even light heavyweight, like Shiraz, he'll probably move up to light heavyweight eventually. Yet the difference when a real super middleweight hits Berlanga. That's the difference.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's a good point there, Bucho. But Solo Dolo is saying Rickens took L's tonight, this weekend. I disagree. When Matias won, he's Puerto Rican last time I checked. Berlanga won. Shakur Stevenson won. He's half Puerto Rican, so why not give those guys credit? Berlanga is the one that fucked up the bag. You're right, but it was 2-1 for Puerto Rico tonight. So that's nothing to be ashamed of. And by the way, so he's probably going to say, what about Serrano? We're talking boxing here. We're talking real boxing, not whatever happened yesterday. So that's my point of view on that. I don't know about you guys.
I think two Puerto Ricans won tonight. Absolutely.
Shout out to Puerto Rico. People thought Puerto Rico were on their way down. People were making fun of Puerto Rico, saying, no, gone are the days of Felix Trinidad and Wilfredo Gomez and Juan Laporte. No, sorry, Bob. Puerto Rico's making a comeback. Vessel, sorry, you were going to say something?
Oh, yeah. Why is no one talking about the Morel fight? That was a straight-up robbery, man.
Yeah, well, we didn't get to that yet, but yeah, go ahead, man. Break it down.
Well, yeah, Morel did, I think, barely enough to win 3 rounds at most. And that's being generous.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he was pushing back, I can't pronounce the Russian guy's name. What's his name again? Katayev, right? Well, when he was pushing back Katayev was still out working him while being pushed back, which was pretty impressive.
With his hands down, yeah, you're right.
With his hands, well, yeah, but he was out working him. It's pretty cool. Man, Morel is. I don't know why they want him to be in line for something. I genuinely don't know. Is it maybe because Katayev got caught? Did he get caught with PEDs?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe it was like, all right, listen, we'll let you fight, but you ain't getting the win one way or the other.
Yeah, because I think he is banned, or they're gonna ban him eventually. They're deciding the punishment.
Well, this dude looks like he came out of a cave. Not to be disrespectful or anything, but he looks like a caveman. He looks like a Neanderthal, quite scary. And he fought like one, too. Just bashing. I thought he got a little bit careless, though, in the last round. Continuing to fight with the
Yeah, the last round, he threw too much. He was stepped forward too much.
But yeah, that was a... Listen, I didn't catch the first 2.5 rounds. So I don't know if he really won them. I could see maybe if Morrell took the first two, the last two, and then they gave him some of the middle rounds. But it was a bad look from Morrell, man. He was waiting. See, that's the other thing, though. I remember prior to the Benavides fight, some people, and there were a lot of Cubans. Let's just face the facts. In the comment section of some of the videos I did prior to that fight, were saying you're gonna see Morrell's he's gonna outbox him. He's gonna. This is what the word they use. He's gonna style on him, like Lomachenko, prime Lomachenko. And I said, well, they didn't say prime Lomachenko, but I suspect that's what they're referring to. And I said, I remember thinking, when has Morrell ever done that? When he was at the PBC, the best opponent he ever took on was Sean Agbeko. That's it. And Agbeko's like not even a fringe contender, I would say. Then he stepped up against the Serbian Cholo, what was his name? Kalajdzic. And he struggled mightily in that one. And then he struggles against this dude. Gets lucky, gets fortunate with the win. I really don't think Morrell... I don't understand, Vessel, why or who started this narrative that he was as avoided, supposedly, as Benavides or some of these other guys.
Yeah, originally he was a boogeyman. But he's the boogeyman. Nobody wants to touch that guy.
Who avoided him? And that's what I don't get. Who did he send offers to that said, no, we don't want to fight this dude? I must have missed it.
I think it's honestly good PR that people believe that, because he kept saying it. He kept saying each time they interviewed him, he kept saying, "Oh, they're all avoiding me," and then people were like, "Who?" And he'd be like, "Canelo, Benavides, they're avoiding me."
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the modern.
It's subliminal. He said it enough where we believed it.
Vessel, you're trying to piss me off, aren't you?
Hmm?
You're trying to piss me off.
No.
Yeah, because you use subliminal. Yeah, you know, I just went over that on Friday, I believe it was, how people misuse the term subliminal.
Okay. Are you gonna cry about it?
Not gonna cry about it. I'm gonna make you cry about
it.
Go
ahead, cry about it. I thought this was a man's channel and not women's boxing. We're gonna cover the Serrano fight next. What's going on?
I'm gonna make you cry. I'm gonna make you cry. How about that?
How about we cry together? We hold hands.
Don't put me to the test, Vessel. I'll turn you into a vessel for my indiscretions. How about that? Whoa, what the fuck?
Wait, do you have the FU thing on the...
Yeah, I told you I was going to take it on Friday when I told him to do the showbiz laugh.
That's funny.
And I was able to clip it. I almost laughed over it, but I'm glad I shut my mouth.
That's so evil. It's so evil. I hate that laugh. It scares me.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the Pennywise the laugh. Pennywise the clown laugh. Damn, I don't know how that's a cartoon laugh that Food TV has. Very good, very talented. A man of many talents.
It's like Albert and the Chipmunk laugh.
Exactly, yeah. Fellas, don't forget to hit that like. Really helps us out. Let's go to a phone call, by the way. I was about to shut him down and turn this into an open line show, but let's go to a phone lines here. Let's go to 210. 210, you're on the air. 210, what's on your mind?
Hey, what up, BDA? Southpaw, Texas.
Oh, Southpaw, what's up, man?
Ain't too much background, man. I'm outside this club, but I saw y'all around. I was like, man, I'm gonna go outside to the patio and call these motherfuckers.
Wait, did you catch the fight?
Wait, did you leave a date hanging?
I bought it. I bought the fight, and it was worth it, man. Because you know what? Turkey is listening to the fans. If you notice, the cards were moving along. There wasn't too much fluff and talking in between and highlights and commercials. Like from the co-main to the main, it was boom, boom. You know what I mean? Because during the co-main, after the co-main's over, that's usually when I start like putting on my clothes to go out. And then once the main event's over, that's when I call my Uber and go out. You know what I mean? So I had to rush, and that's a good thing. And man, Turkey's listening to the people, and it was worth the $60. I mean, props to Shakur. I don't like the kid. I still don't like him outside the ring. But bro, when he lets his hands go, that kid is magic, bro. Like it just sucks that his hands are brittle. Because when he lets his hands go, he's fucking awesome, bro. Like he shut a lot of critics up, including myself. And I can't give him nothing but props, man. Nobody beats this guy. Nobody's going to beat him.
Well, that's why they fight the fights. That's for sure. What about Shiraz versus Vergalarga?
Bro, that was awesome. I mean, we knew the writing was on the wall. Like Berlanga was always a hype job, and this just goes to show. Like I'm gonna trigger some of y'all BDA listeners. I'm sorry, I got to do it, but this shows that like Canelo's wins age like fucking sushi, bro. Like Munguia, Ryder, 40-year-old Triple G, Charlo. I mean, what else y'all got? So the writing's on the wall. Like we all knew this guy was trash, and we knew like once he steps up to a guy that's like prime and like hungry, he's gonna get knocked out, and that's what happened. I'm so happy it happened. It's just like that's just what it is, man. Like and a lot of people are giving Berlanga shit, making fun of him, this and that, and a lot of Canelo fans. But you know what, Canelo fans, you got to point the finger at yourselves, because you know who gave him that clout, that opportunity, that stage, that fucking shine? Your boy Canelo. Why? Because he doesn't want to fight Benavidez. He ducked that motherfucker. But it just goes to show, man, like it's the same thing with Tank. A lot of his wins don't age well. So I'm happy justice was served. I mean, Berlanga is so embarrassing, and so is Oscar De La Hoya. So it's a good thing that Oscar De La Hoya's got lost. I like Zepeda. I think he's going to be in more fights, but I don't think he's an A-level fighter. But justice was served tonight. Turkey listened to the people, and I'm happy. I got my money's worth. You know what I mean? To the point where like I'm barbecuing at home, and I went out. I'm still out. I'm going to be out for another 3 hours. So like, shout outs to Turkey. Had a good night, and man, I can't wait. I'll be at the Bam fight next week.
Oh boy!
So I'm hyped for that. Bam's from my neighborhood. So I'm hyped.
Well, there you go, man. And by the way, I would agree with you about what you said about Canelo looking bad, but I would have agreed with you if Canelo had looked bad or struggled against Berlanga and Munguia, but he didn't. He dominated them. So the only thing he didn't get was a stoppage. So that's the only thing I disagree there.
Yeah. Did he?
Enjoy yourself.
I mean, versus B-level guys, you got to put him away.
Are you saying
you got to put him away?
Are you saying
put him away?
Are you saying he struggled against Berlanga? Are you saying he struggled against Munguia?
He can't cut off the ring. He can't put away. He can't put two punches together to land to get him out of there. Shiraz did it. Shiraz didn't even have to work. He didn't even have to open up like a game plan. He just threw a left hook. He threw a left hook to open up the guard. He shot a right hand down the pipe, and that was it. He didn't even have to really think. He just did it. You know what I mean? So that just goes to show you, man. So sorry, Canelo boys.
I understand the standards that people have for Canelo. 5'7" Canelo. You know, like they expect 5'7" Canelo to do what 6'3" Shiraz did. Just blow out this guy. And by the way, I was watching the fight. I was like, you know what, Berlanga, because I was rewatching Canelo against Berlanga, and I was, damn, Berlanga looks much bigger than Canelo. And then I was watching this fight, and I'm like, I thought Berlanga looked skinnier, but it wasn't that I was skinnier or smaller. It's just that Shiraz was actually bigger.
He hung up, by the way. Southpaw.
Yeah, I don't know what, but what I'm saying is this though. I mean, Shiraz looks bigger, and then. You asked Southpaw, I mean, did Canelo struggle against
he didn't want to answer.
Berlanga or against Munguia? And it's like, well, he couldn't cut the ring off. I'm like, well, did he struggle or not? I mean, in my opinion, he didn't.
The other thing is, he said, Canelo, he can't cut the ring off. He throws one punch at a time. I'm thinking, well, he's dominating people like that. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
When Mayweather
dominating people with low output, apparently. But you showed me the numbers, and you're saying that this is the same output that Canelo had. For years now.
That's right. Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't understand
anything new.
When Mayweather would do it backing up, he was a genius. Canelo does it coming forward. He's shot. He's rudimentary. He's washed.
Right.
He's
now imagine Canelo with a low output on the back foot, or fighting like Shakur Stevenson, with a Philly shell, like that would be embarrassing.
Shiraz showed he can punch at this higher weight.
And by the way, real quick, before I get to everybody else, Scrap TV says, hold on, let me put it up. It says, Morel couldn't beat Temu Beterbiev and got dropped. Come on, man. What do you got to call that guy Temu
Morel got a robbery win in that card, man. That was such a
it was a robbery.
Dude got his ass whooped.
Come on, don't laugh like
guy.
that.
That's my voice. What the fuck?
That's the judges filling in the cards for the Morel fight.
No, but
why are you laughing? You know that's real. Morel lost that fight. Come on.
Yeah. Did you score the fight, Fu?
I didn't score it. Like
Okay.
I watched it, and I thought he lost. I thought he was getting hit with bomb after bomb, getting rocked, getting knocked down. I mean, he was completely getting control. He came back towards the very end of the fight, but it was too little, too late.
People like to now, because Berlanga got knocked out, they're bringing Canelo into the picture. What about Morel? What about Morel and Benavides? Like, so Morel.
The thing is with Berlanga, I mean, look, this guy's a big fucking dude. What do you expect? He's got a lot. There's a lot more to put through your face. You remember this guy got hit with Wilder. They get that long rod. I mean, he boned the fuck out of his face, man.
That long rod.
And this dude walked right into that punch. His head was inflated for sure. It was true what Oscar said. This guy thinks he's like made it. It's like, bro, you didn't make it. You got a lot of improvements to make. He walked right into that right hand. And so that's just what it is.
He got the Canelo fight because he has connections. That's the only reason why he got the fight.
It's probably true. I mean, it's an easy fight, right? This guy, he ain't working on his craft. He's just not working on it. He looked like shit in there.
Yeah. Recognize. Do you think? I mean, I don't know. How do they do it in New York? Is what's his name? Fat Joe gonna discipline Berlanga for letting him down while he was in the audience, or how's that gonna work?
Fat Joe ain't disciplining nobody. He's busy.
Come on.
He's busy disciplining the toilet after Taco Bell.
He's too busy greasing his belly at the Diddy party.
He's busy.
Geez, Luis, come on.
He's busy trying to get his leg fixed. You ever see the way he walks now?
Oh yeah, he's got the stinky leg.
He's got like a wood leg. What is he like? He's a pirate. He's like a Puerto Rican pirate.
You guys are too
much.
much.
Let me give you my take real quick on the Zepeda and Shakur fight.
Sure.
I supported for Zepeda, just so you know.
Me too. If I had to pick a winner, Zepeda won. I had it like 7-5.
Dude, he even hurt him. He hurt
exact scorecard too. I had 7-5.
He hurt him once.
I thought he hurt him more than once.
He hit him he clipped his chin one time. He fell up on the ropes. That's how hurt he was.
And I think that was a jab.
It was a jab, yeah. But Zepeda's a right-handed fighter. He just fights with his lead hand forward.
Right.
That's why I don't understand why he didn't step in with the right hand. I mean, he would have been rocking him all night if he stepped in with that.
Now, Zepeda disappointed me towards the end.
Yeah.
But the way it looked like they were going to score this fight was, okay, Shakur, don't run. Depend on your defense. Or don't run as much. Depend on your defense, and you win the fight like that. That's not how you really score a fight. Like, don't score fights on defense. So if I had to score the fight on points, punches, I gave it to Zepeda. I thought he won that fight.
He outlanded him. Like I
had it 6-6.
I can see that. I could even. I think if you're being, I think if you're going to be a little bit lenient in favor of Shakur, you give it a draw, and I think if you're doing it for Zepeda, you give him the win. So I thought he outworked him, man. I thought he outworked him throughout the whole fight. I will agree with Southpaw when Shakur does let his hands go. I'm not gonna say he's magic and he's like the second coming of fucking Sugar Ray Robinson or something like that, but he does have decent skills as a puncher. But the problem with him is that he doesn't do it often. Well, he depends on He depends on winning on defense, and to me that's not how you win a fight.
I mean, Shakur. Zepeda had him missing more. Like he was actually winging at the air and missing.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Shakur was basically like people were saying it in the comments in my video. The dude was a human pinata. That's what he was. This dude literally beat on him the entire fight. Yeah, a lot of the shots aren't clean, but there's a lot of shit slipping through there. And then every once in a while, he's throwing some slaps and he lands one good punch, and they're like he won the round.
Hey guys, what are the criteria in the fight to score a fight? Like effective aggressiveness, effective defense, ring generalship. You're pinned down on the ropes, and then the guys, landing body shots. And some people are saying, "Oh, they weren't clean." Yeah, a lot of them were clean. Some of them obviously weren't. They were landing on the gloves, but some of them weren't. And again, Shakur's pinned down on the ropes. I'm giving the round to the guy that's controlling Shakur, who's putting him on that thing. Exactly. I don't think Shakur wants to be there.
Almost every round Zepeda was the ring general. All of them.
He slowed down. So I started giving rounds to Shakur, but And Tarver, Antonio Tarver, man, this guy, he was a little bit biased because every time Shakur would land, he would go, whoa. And then when Zepeda would land, he would continue talking like as if he didn't see anything. Oh, well,
a little bit biased. A little bit.
Yeah, I'm being
very biased. That guy. Yeah. This is the guy at the end of the telecast. He said he called out the Dubois fight. He's like, oh yeah, Dubois didn't hit Usyk low. He said it wasn't low.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, by the way, speaking of the
cards, look at his own scorecards. I think they had it 9-3. Shakur.
Yes, bullshit.
Where the fuck did he win 9 rounds?
By the way, full of shit. That's what it is. They're full of shit.
Well, one judge had it 119, 109.
Yeah, 11 rounds to 1. Get the fuck out of here.
One round. One.
Yeah, shit is fake. The sport's not getting any better. That's really what it is.
Well, the other two are not better. They gave 2 rounds to Zepeda, 2 rounds. So that's not
insane.
better.
That is absolutely fucking insane. I saw Chris Mannix gave a Shakur the first 2 rounds. I'm like, bro, he had him up on the ropes.
God.
He's beating the fuck out of him. He even rocked him once, had him falling up the ropes. What is he winning with? With throwing slaps and hitting gloves?
You could probably argue that Zepeda won the first 4 rounds.
I think I had him.
I had his first 0.
I tell you, I had my scorecard. I think I had him win the first 4.
Me too. It was the 5th that I gave to Shakur.
It started getting harder to score as it went on because Shakur was doing a lot of blocking. Every once in a while, he'd land the punch, a decent punch, pretty clean punch. Zepeda slipping these shots through, so it's harder to read those shots than it is, Shakur's big winging shots, right? Because he wings them out there. They're very flashy. I think really that's what it is. I mean, I think for the most part, people are just counting defense in this fight. Like, you got to go by the ring general. The ring general is Zepeda.
Well, listen,
I don't care if those shots are on the arms. He's still on the fucking ropes.
Yeah. Listen, I had Shakur Stevenson winning. I picked him to win, but I'm just surprised because if you're looking at what people were saying on Twitter, they're saying he was going to wash Zepeda. Zepeda's one-dimensional. I gotta tell you, for a guy that's one-dimensional, he gave Shakur Stevenson hell there. So I think it was a tale of 2 narratives. I think people overrated Shakur Stevenson, and we've been saying this for a while now. And I think also maybe people underrated Zepeda a little bit. Maybe it could have been one or the other, or maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. But the one thing I did want to say here too, you brought up Antonio Tarver. Yeah, he was making it interesting with the Dubois thing, saying that wasn't a low blow, that was a legitimate body shot. Yeah, well, I got to tell you, I don't know who had the idea to do this, but it was genius. They had Mannix. And who's the other dude? Mannix, Coppinger, and Mora as the commentators for the first 3 fights. And then when Stevenson and Zepeda fought, they brought in Jim Lampley and Antonio Tarver. And it was night and day. It was night and day, the quality of commentating. Jim Lampley, by the way, I don't know if you guys heard him. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast. And he said that when Tyson got knocked out by Douglas, when Douglas knocked out Tyson, he said, he had it in his mind, don't overreact, don't overact. And he actually stayed quite composed. He did shout a little bit like, Buster Douglas just knocked out Mike Tyson. But he wasn't like, oh my God. He wasn't going overboard. That's what a lot of these other guys do. It seems like they think that, if I talk normally in a normal tone, composed tone, people aren't going to get hyped up. I got to hype them up. That's how they think. And so they're screaming. They're making things out to, like a punch lands and they go, oh my God, what a great shot. You don't have to do that. It was night and day. When Jim Lampley got on the mic, I said, my goodness gracious, that is a total fucking professional. Not that the other guys aren't professional, but I'm just saying there's levels. And Jim Lampley was just levels above. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Jim Lampley for that.
Yeah. I mean, HBO was a great, they had great broadcasters. That's for sure.
I'm looking at my scorecard right now. I'll tell you what I had if you want to hear it. You guys hear me?
Sure.
I had Zepeda winning the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round. I had Shakur winning the 5th and 6th. Zepeda won the 7th and 8th. Shakur won the 9th. Zepeda won the 10th and 11th, and Shakur won the 10th.
Interesting.
That's what I had.
All right, now let me ask you this though: Shiraz versus Canelo.
That's wide, but I said a give or take a few. I mean, I had an 8. Wow, that's a big. But
listen,
that's punched. He's getting out.
Again, people were saying Stevenson was going to wash him. He was going to stop him. I don't know.
Not even close.
A lot of people,
dude. He didn't even hurt him once. Just like I said, Farmer was far more dangerous.
Hey,
This guy
actually,
never got hurt for
Farmer
a second.
didn't Farmer in the second fight actually land more shots? It seemed like
Farmer hit him more. He hit him more, and he hit him harder.
And really quick, is it me or did again Shakur look bigger?
Oh, for sure he's bigger, dude. He's a welterweight. For sure he's a welterweight.
This guy puts up.
That's what I said. We got him on the rope. You could see he had Shakur on the rope. Shakur was just like, okay, he was taking some of those shots. Like, okay, you're annoying me, but you know,
he's huge.
Yeah,
he's a big guy, big welterweight. Sorry.
And you know,
sometimes
in that fight, Zepeda pissed me off sometimes because he was like fucking aiming at his guard. I'm like, dude, fucking penetrate through his face. Go through it, like mix it up a little bit.
That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. You want to go to the arms. That was a good thing. The problem is they wouldn't follow up. He's creating the opening.
He was doing it too late in the fight. Like, dude, you got to start like.
You saw through the middle, the opening there. He would never shoot his jab through hard. Step in with it. If he would have done that, he would have fucked Shakur all up.
He did it once, and he stunned him. Remember?
And he rocked him. Yeah,
he pushed him back.
That's his power.
No, I'm saying
right hand.
I talked about how will Shakur look against a puncher, because Zepeda is not really a puncher.
Well, Kid Austin
and how
absolutely knock
exactly
him out.
Explosive with punching power like Kid Austin, or how would Shakur? How will he look at 140?
He's gonna be knocked out if he fights Austin.
No, he'll get knocked.
140. He ain't making that 140.
At 140,
he can't. Dude, he couldn't even hurt Zepeda. He couldn't even hurt him. Zepeda's getting hurt by Farmer. So,
well, listen. I think we learned that a lot of people were overrating Shakur Stevenson, and I don't. Listen, I expected more people to. I expected more people would try to turn this into like the masterclass that they thought it was going to be, and I don't see it. I think people woke up. That's for sure. But
except Chris.
Well, they're happy that they're happy Shakur didn't run, and for them it's a big win. It's like, I told you he can stand his ground. Yeah, on the ropes. He was on the ropes. That's what you were expecting him to do when you're saying that this guy can stand. He doesn't have to run. Yeah, but that's not what you're supposed to do.
I think he got the memo, Bucho. I think they gave him the memo. Look, don't actually run. Try to stand there and just block the shot. So he said to himself, okay, I'll do that. I'll do it on the ropes too, mainly. I'm going to do it mainly on the ropes. So I'm like, okay, that's you giving up grounds. And a lot of times you're not throwing punches. You're getting punched at. Who's winning the exchange? Who's winning those rounds?
I mean, he's literally they're giving him rounds on blocking. But the ring roll is Zepeda. He's got his back up, beat him all. Obviously, but they're slipping through. The shot's slipping through all over the place. What is he doing? But basically sitting up on the ropes, getting his ass whooped, getting punched all over his body. Really, truly is a pinata. That's what he was in this fight. And he's lucky this guy's not a big puncher, because if it was anyone else, they would have broke him to pieces sitting on that corner like that. For sure, he ain't beating Kid Austin like that. There's no chance in hell. And that dude is going to push his ass up on the ropes just the same, except he's going to be throwing those overhands. And
this reminded me a little bit of Miguel Cotto against Mayweather.
Yeah, and that's what I said. That's what I predicted. Or like Maidana Mayweather, which is what it was.
As well. He was laying on the ropes. It's not because they wanted to be on the ropes. They were pushed back then. And when it comes to Cotto Mayweather, a lot of people remember they say that was one of his toughest fights because he was on the ropes, laying on the ropes, just like Shakur Stevenson. So I don't understand why these people say that Shakur Stevenson whooped Zepeda.
Oh, that's crazy.
And he had the same type of struggling fight like Mayweather did against Cotto.
What? With clean, effective slaps to the guard? I mean, like, dude, a lot of these shots, this guy's throwing blitzes and missing almost every punch he threw. Every once in a while he landed a punch, but a lot of his shots were not landing. Like Zepeda was actually more. He threw a lot of punches, but he was landing more. I didn't see Shakur landing a lot in this fight. I think this guy blocked. This guy blocked so much that he literally just throws a single punch, and everyone in the crowd was cheering.
All I'm saying is, all week long, I heard people saying Shakur Stevenson is gonna stop him, and he couldn't even come close. So I don't understand why they say it was gonna be easy. I didn't see any fight. So,
they're like, they said he's Arturo Gotti. They said it was gonna be like Arturo Gotti, Floyd Mayweather.
Oh man, yeah.
And by the way, I'm trying to
know how many times I heard people say that.
I'm trying to put the overlay here so that people see who's talking, but for some reason it ain't working out. I think I have to adjust something. Anyway, guys, Shiraz. A lot of people are now saying, well, not
Shiraz
a lot, but I saw
fight Canelo for sure. For sure, for sure. Turkey just tweeted it.
No,
He
well,
wants that
Crawford's
fight
gonna
next.
beat Crawford's gonna beat Canelo. So.
Look, it's
Wow, I
already
don't know
talking
about that.
Shiraz Canelo, the fucking Crawford fight hasn't happened yet.
No, Turkey already wants that. That's what he's tweeting.
That's crazy shit. Why
But you
not
see
bring
how-
Benavidez back down to beat the fuck out of that guy, right?
Benavidez can't go
Yeah,
back
he
to
can sway him.
175. Yeah, that's over.
I think
that's
he can
over.
make. I think he said it. He said he can make 168. He said it.
I mean, did you
did.
see how
I
Benavidez
don't
looked?
believe him though.
Did you see how Benavidez looked at the face off, that sit down,
It's
or
a
whatever they
triple
call it?
But he's always
Yeah, I
fat,
don't
but
think
he's always-
I don't think he looks big as fuck.
He always bloats up between fights. He's a fat fuck. You know, he eats all the wrong food. That's what it is. That's all fat. He could cut that down.
Exactly. I mean,
The
I
problem
don't
is
know,
when
I
you
don't know.
put what problem is when you put muscle on. That's when it becomes an issue. With that fat now water, he could cut all that shit off.
220 pounds. Yeah, that's what Quinn Lassiter in the chat says. That dude said that on Instagram. Benavidez did 220. He's not going back down.
Damn.
He's
Ben
not
the
going back
burger.
40 pounds of fat and water. You know that water comes off quick too. People, you cut that. You do a keto diet for a week, you'll take off 20 pounds.
Ah, man. I mean,
That's not
listen.
that hard.
Dr. 805 says he disagrees with the keto diet. He says it's not actually good in the long term because you're actually ending up eating muscle. I believe that's what he says.
No. I don't know why someone would say that. Keto diet's actually very good. You look at any bodybuilder, every single one of them do a keto diet. One of the first things they do when they're cutting down for a competition is they cut all the carbs out of their diet. Instantly puts you in ketosis, and that's when you start getting shredded.
Yeah, but what he's
This whole
explaining,
idea
he
that
was
keto's bad. I don't know who said that. They don't know. what they're
That's
talking about,
Dr.
to be honest.
805. Dr. 805 said, and again, I'm just giving you the broad strokes here, but he says that what's actually ends up doing is you're not eating enough calories for the workouts, especially for these athletes.
But that's not true because you can eat
Anyway,
shit
listen, I'm
tons
not
of
gonna
calories
get
in
back and forth, going back and
I'm
forth.
gonna agree with
I-
Dr.
that's not
805.
true, because
My
you can
friend
eat-
who studies this tells me the same thing. She told
You
me that
can
it's
eat
really
so
bad
many-
after 6 months.
You can eat so many calories in a ketogenic diet. It's really your body's just running on fat. So that's why you cut the weight so quick. The fat starts coming up. Your body actually uses fat as fuel. So
That's what they say, but that's what they said.
that's
but
really
like,
that's what it does.
that's what they said. But like what Vessel is saying, in the long term, it ends up actually
Yeah,
being
after 6
detrimental.
months, it's bad for you. It starts actually having adverse effects on you, especially
why
on your
would-
gut biome.
why
If
would
you
that-
look
why
into
would
that,
that be?
because your gut biome needs other things to occasionally eat as well. It can't just rely on the same things.
Look,
Yeah,
look,
it's
So
not
that's just
enough to
science,
just-
but
It's
You
not
can
enough
eat
to just.
vegetables.
It's
You can
not
eat
enough to
vegetables and
just.
carbohydrates in a ketogenic
It's
diet.
not enough
You-
to
you
just
don't-
carb backload on 2 days and then now I'm replenished. What Dr. 805 was saying, like what Vessel said, you need to eat different types of food because the
But you
stomach
can't.
is actually the stomach. They call it the second brain for a reason. It's got a whole flora what they call
the
it,
gut
like
biome.
yeah, like a biome, like the word you use,
It's called the gut biome,
of course,
and you
but
need
I
to
mean,
replenish it occasionally with other
look.
things.
On a ketogenic diet, you can eat carbohydrates. You can eat carbs. You can drink milk. You can eat cheese. You can do all that. You're just not eating all this processed shit that's shooting your blood sugar through the roof. The whole point of a ketogenic diet, one of the things you're doing is you're keeping your insulin levels low. That's why you cut a lot of the carbs. But you could still eat vegetables and certain kind of berries. There's a lot of stuff you can eat. I mean, look, ketogenic diets, that's what you are when you're born. When you're a baby, you're drinking just milk. Like you ain't all carved up. And
But
milk
we're
doesn't
not
have that much
babies.
carb.
Yeah, but when you're an adult, you're not a baby anymore.
I understand, but the thing is that the thing is what they say, and this is the science of it, is that there's no such thing as a essential carbohydrate. You just don't need them.
Oh,
Your body actually
all right.
creates carbohydrates. You don't need
On
to
board.
have.
All
I'm
right,
just
but
saying, you're
Bucho,
not
I mean,
eating a
it's,
bunch
I
of
mean,
sugar.
how many times can we talk about some of the fights here? Okay, but listen,
I
Well,
studied
there's
it.
comments in
Man,
the
I know
chat.
all
There's
about it. I know
comments in the chat. We get some people. What are people saying here? Solidus says Zepeda is on Shakur's level, boxing skill wise, laughing. I
He has a
mean,
better- he has a better jab.
That was a very close fight. I did have it 7-5, 7-5,
Shakur was-
6-6.
yeah, Shakur was
And
pinned
that's
down on the.
being
When have
pretty
you
neutral.
seen?
I don't like
when
either
have
of these
you-
guys.
When have you
I
seen
had-
Shakur? Wait, guys, when have you seen Shakur pinned down on the ropes like that?
Dude, I had no idea that
Wobbles.
boxing. Since when has boxing been a dumb motherfucker sitting up on the ropes getting beat up like a fucking heavy bag? That's boxing getting beat up like a heavy bag. Well,
I
look,
know.
his arms are down. Bam, bam,
I mean,
bam,
and thank God, thank God Zepeda wasn't a big puncher and he was smaller than Shakur, because getting pinned down on the ropes like that against a bigger guy, that punches harder, that's a different story.
I hate to say, I hate to bring it back to that, but Solodolo says the brain needs carbohydrates to think. Anyway, that's the last thing I want to say there.
The body creates carbohydrates, dude. It creates them.
All right.
If you need carbohydrates, your body will literally make them.
But shout
I'm
out to
talking
War.
about drinking juices and fruit and all this other shit. People eat bread.
All right.
People are, hey guys, in the chat, some people are denying that Shakur was on the ropes. I don't know.
Well, hold on.
How are you denying this photographic evidence?
Warrior Way. Hold on.
Tell you different.
Warrior Way makes up a good point. Again, this is the standards that people have for Canelo. He comes forward, dominates fights. He's a caveman. He's done. He's washed. Shakur Stevenson does it going backward. Genius, masterclass. He washed the guy. I don't know. I don't understand why people don't have the same standard. I don't know. I think some people are race fans.
Canelo has to knock out everybody.
What people are saying you guys are mad. The only thing I'm mad about is that people aren't giving. The only thing that makes me mad is that people aren't giving the Puerto Ricans the credit that they deserve. Shakur Stevens is half Puerto Rican. Don't forget it. So tonight, Puerto Rico went 2-1. Berlanga fumbled the bag. Okay, that's on him. But Stevenson and Matias ended up repping Puerto Rico. And how come people going to continue laughing now about Puerto Rico being done? They have no champions. No, Puerto Rico is in the house.
Is not no half Puerto Rican. Stop it.
Get used to it. Get used to it. Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico. Viva Puerto Rico. Viva Puerto Rico.
That's
yours. What Don King used to say.
Oh God, no one wants him.
Embrace him.
No, thank you.
Well, Food TV actually sort of relates to Shakur Stevenson because he's half Puerto Rican too.
I'm not half Puerto Rican.
I thought you said you were half Dominican. You say you were half Dominican.
No, my dad is half Dominican, half Puerto Rican. My mother's 100% Puerto Rican. So I'm Puerto Rican.
Where's the Jewish part again?
I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah, the Jewish.
There's no Jewish.
Jewish Puerto Rican.
You guys aren't from Brooklyn. You know everybody sounds like a damn Jew in Brooklyn, right? Anybody that's from Brooklyn sounds like a damn.
I don't know. Hold on. Let me get the guns. Let me get the guns in here. Guns, are you there?
That guy's just
hey, what's up, BDA?
Gonzalo, I'm very curious now. Canelo versus Hamza Shiraz. If Canelo gets past Crawford, how big a threat is Hamza Shiraz?
Hamza.
Well, I mean, looking at it, he was dehydrated, in my opinion. Now at 160, he's just a big dude. Like Jim Lepley was saying, he's got like big ass feet, like Ronald McDonald. Probably has got big ass hands. He didn't look that skinny to me. He looks filled out. He looks like a Nephilim. He's a big dude. That's what I'm thinking.
They went into the creative fighter and fighting around 4, and they created this fucked up human being. That's not normal. You saw
I like how he put his punches together. So I mean, that guy definitely's got power. He's got a lot of length and he creates a lot of leverage.
Exactly.
So the thing about him being chainy, because he got rocked a few times before. I think it's because he was dehydrated. Is he the best? I mean, we have to see him fight a better guy than Berlanga, because Berlanga is not a real good fighter. So him against Canelo, there's a gap that still needs to be found out. How good is this guy really? Because Berlanga wasn't good at all.
I'd like to see him fight Munguia next, or that guy Shiraz, the guy that beat.
Throw him against Pacheco. Throw him against McGilly.
Yeah, I guess
he's the mandatory now. So he's the mandatory for the WBC. He's got to face Canelo, or he's got to face wherever they put in front of him. Like
I don't think he's going to beat either one of those guys. I think those guys. He's C plus level guy. That guy's not very good. Berlanga just fought like garbage.
What else? Yeah, I'm a little disappointed with Zepeda. I'm surprised. Well, not surprised. It's not like I didn't know, that he wasn't like, that he didn't turn his punches over. That he was missing that effect that, like, for example, in Eric Morales, when he turns throw perfect execution on the punches, this guy just is all about volume, pity pats, and he never got taught proper technique, I guess, when it comes to throwing a punch with everything behind it. Even Shakur, he was doing a good job of throwing from the hips compared to Stevenson. And I told PDA like before, I think privately, or I said it in the air, that this guy gets a head snap back and shit like that. So I'm not totally surprised, and I am disappointed. But it was closer than the scorecards made it appear. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's interesting though.
I don't think Shakur won, man.
All right, well, we already got that from you, but it is interesting, Gonzalo, because Shakur Stevenson, again, I don't understand. People really need to lower the bar with Shakur Stevenson just a little bit, because he was saying again for the third time in a row, I'm gonna whoop ass. I'm gonna put belt to ass. He didn't put belt to anything. He won. I thought he won. I disagree with Fu. I thought he won, but
I forgot that line.
But like I said, but like I said during the fight week, I said it's gonna be a lot more competitive than people think. So I think now people are starting to realize a little bit that more often than not, people tend to overrate rather than underrate, especially as it pertains to Afro-Anglo fighters. So that's just what goes there. Yeah. But
Shakur's one of those guys that is gonna try to still con the public, try to put the what's the saying, the wool over people's eyes, like a mirage. He's still a mirage to me, because people that don't know about boxing, and the next time he faces a guy that they don't know too much about, that hits hard, like a Nakatila or like Murataya, when he faces one of those guys again, or like a Stevenson, like what was that guy that beat him? Kevin, the Dominican guy. Yeah, a puncher. When he faces another puncher, he's gonna get back on the bike again. Make no mistake about that. He's gonna run again. He only chose not to run, because I saw it too. Because Zepeda is not a power puncher. He's all volume, and I mentioned that many times. But anyways, and I think he saw that too, because he's a boxer, so he's experienced. That's why he was sticking the finger up and he was acting all confident, like he's a badass, because he knew this guy doesn't punch like that. In other words, he can take a good punch, but he just doesn't. He can't take a heavy punch, and he doesn't like to get hit by guys that can punch hard.
But Zepeda was trapped.
Pretty much it.
He didn't want to be there. He was trapped up. He was cutting the ring off very well, and he pushed him back. And so he changed his strategy. He was trying to make the guy work. But he was getting caught, and later on, you saw he was starting to wilt again. Shakur was wilting in the later rounds. That's why he was running towards the very end. If you notice,
he started running.
It was in the 10th, 11th, and 12th. He was literally running away.
Looking at the clock.
Looking at the clock. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put anyway, whatever. I'm trying to put the names up here on the chat, but I can't. But yes, but Gonzalo, I do think some people are still gonna keep expecting Shakur Stevenson. They're gonna believe him when he says he's gonna do this, he's gonna whoop ass and all that. But I do think every single fight that goes forward, I think more and more people start losing steam on that. So I think that's what's gonna happen in the next one. How about Shiraz versus Canelo, Gonzalo? Oh no, I already asked you that. I think about how difficult the fight is. Hey, listen. It's interesting. I keep telling people, fellas, how a knockout or a stoppage changes people's perceptions. Because a year ago, Shiraz, after the Adames fight or whatever, or this year rather, sure, he got to give this shit against Adames, blah, blah, blah. Now all of a sudden, a scintillating win, a scintillating, impressive win. Like, that's the power of a stoppage. So if he doesn't fight Canelo, who would you like to see Shiraz fight?
I mean, you said, right, Pacheco, or like I would say McGee on a comeback, or like the Shiraz guy. I think I like those better than anyone else, because he hasn't really done anything at this weight. He's fighting Berlanga. Berlanga's done nothing at 168. So it's like
Caleb Plant.
You beat Berlanga. Yeah, Caleb Plant.
Caleb Plant.
I heard
he just lost to Shiraz.
Earlier, it was kind of
still around.
The Cum's gonna come back. McCumby.
Germal.
Well, it's the thing. Somebody called in earlier and said that he's a skinny guy. Shiraz is not skinny. Maybe before people thought he was skinny, maybe because he was a little dehydrated, I guess. Yeah, pretty much. I'm pretty sure of that. But the dude's he's big.
I can see.
Dude, even if the dude decided 175, compared to what's that guy that he just fucking fought? Berlanga. Berlanga, look how he looked against Canelo. Berlanga looked way bigger than Canelo.
That's
look at
what
his
I
back,
said.
Bro.
Yeah,
look at him
I
against
brought it up.
Yeah.
I think the
fucking Nephilim.
That guy is enormous.
Gonzalo keeps calling him the Nephilim.
Yeah, he looks like a Nephilim, and people were expecting Canelo to just walk through Berlanga, even though there was a size difference. But he's 5'7". I mean, he dropped him, but he just couldn't finish him. And I don't think he wanted to really keep on putting on that much pressure. Canelo he didn't care, so he just did the bare minimum. Like, he doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't punch like the Shiraz guy does.
Oh, but hell no, man.
He's
not. You see that?
Shiraz a big
guy. Looked like, to me, he looked like Zurdo size, like a cruiserweight, man. Well, not as like chunky and stuff, but
dude,
like heavyweight.
Berlanga had like a pea-side head in there. You saw how small like Berlanga looked next to that dude. He looked tiny.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, is this the same Berlanga that fought Canelo?" I thought he looked smaller, like skinnier or something. But I was like, "No, it's because next to Shiraz, he looks fucking small." You know?
Oh yeah,
But
very, very for sure. A weight class or more, maybe 2 weight classes bigger than him. That fucking dude's look like a damn cruiserweight in there. He's
Right.
enormous.
By the way, Skulky with a super chat. Really appreciate your super chat. He says Shakur is on snack. He's on something.
Oh yeah,
he looks
sure he's on
big. He's big for 135.
Part of the Victor Conte package is that he gets you down to the weight that you need to fight at, but he makes it so that system he has allows you to rehydrate. I do wonder how much he was weighing in on fight night, Stevenson that is. But speaking of size, Benavides is listed as 6 feet 1 inch, 1.5 inch. Or 1 inch and 1/2 inch, right?
Shiraz makes Benavides look small.
But that's what I was gonna say, because Benavides fights like he's got the mummy stance. He's got an upright stance, so maybe that's why he looks taller than what they say he's. Because I've always thought he looked like he was more 6'2.5". Shiraz is like Benavides, but without the fat. He's skinnier, but like
look at like Jim Lepley was saying about his feet. Pretty much, if he's got big feet, he's probably got huge hands, and he's filling out those gloves to where it's leather on knuckle. You know,
Dude,
basically fitting like a tight fit.
I think they're lying about that guy's reach and height. I think he's much taller and he's got way more reach than they're saying. I think I heard these guys saying he had a 74-inch reach. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Look how long that guy's arms are. There's
so you
no
think
way that guy's got?
You're saying like Shiraz is actually taller than what they're telling us? You think he's 6'4"?
Oh yeah, I think I think
he's Nephilim.
I think he's taller. I think he's taller than that. And his reach is way longer than what they're saying. What'd they say? 74-inch reach, they said? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he's
man.
probably Nephilim. You're not mentioning that.
That's a long reach.
Dude, Crawford has a 74-inch reach. You think that guy has arms?
Yeah, still a long reach.
Dude, that guy's arms are way longer than Crawford.
But Dortico's is 73, I think. Heavyweights have around that range, like 70 something, 73, like that.
Faking this fucking reach, man. Like, this is 75. Quentin says 75-inch reach. Is it really that?
I mean, I
don't think Crawford got 70. So Crawford's got like a 68-inch reach or 70.
No. They said it was 74. Crawford's 74. So he's saying he only got
I know, that's a lie.
An inch more on Crawford. Come on, bro. You saw that guy's arms? My God, the guy's arms are so long. He's like a fucking spider in there. That guy ain't human.
I don't know. I'm not too sure.
I think Bill Gates built that guy in the lab. That's some fucking genetic modifications there on that dude.
Wait, it actually does say 74. Julio's right on this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 74.
Yeah, it says on Brock's
okay. But
74.
What heavyweights?
Those numbers are fake, bro. Those numbers are all fake. That dude's reach is enormous.
That dude is incredibly tall. And the danger with Shiraz is that, okay, there's the power, right? Okay, I can get past the power. He's actually pretty good on the inside, too. He was snapping Berlanga's head.
He was good on the inside. I was shocked by that.
And I was telling Bucho about how when you see Benavides fight at light heavyweight now, he hits guys with all his might, and he does snap their heads back, but they don't react. They just keep coming forward. They don't. But when you see a guy eating a big shot and they stand there for a millisecond shocked, that's when you know the shot got to them. That's what you saw from Berlanga. I said, "Oh boy, he's not going to be able to take this many shots." And sure enough, a couple of seconds later, he's on the ground. So Shiraz can crack a 168. Man, he brought that power over.
It's kind of strange how 168 is having like a second renaissance. There's actually a lot of good fighters there, surprisingly.
Exactly, yeah.
And I actually don't think they overrated him based off this performance, BDA and everybody. I just think the way he fought in comparison to how he fought Carlos Adames, it's day and night. He just looked like a different guy. Did Andy Lee have something to do with it? Maybe, and definitely the weight gain. And I guess since Turkey always believed in him, and some people thought, oh, why is he so into like backing this guy up? It kind of makes sense now.
Well, I mean, on the one hand, it was a little bit difficult to understand where Shiraz was at because prior to the Adames fight, he'd looked good against Amo Williams, but before that, he'd fought a lot of guys that you go, okay, on the come up, he's gonna beat him. Then when a lot of people felt he should have lost the Adames fight, it was like, all right, well, I guess this guy was overrated. And he might still be a little bit overrated because, I mean, he beat Berlanga. And again, it's the same thing about going into the Zepeda Shakur Stevenson. People expected Stevenson to win. Now that he wins, they're like, I'm never going to doubt Stevenson again. Well, he did what he was supposed to. I don't understand why people are overpraising him. And it's the same thing a little bit, I guess you could say, about Shiraz Berlanga is, look, a lot of us knew Berlanga was limited. But it's the way Shiraz wiped the floor with him. And that's the thing, though. That's guys, what do you think about trash talking? Because I know they got to sell fights, but did Berlanga go overboard with the trash talk and then it ends up backfiring even worse based on all the talking he did, the way he loses?
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, he's doing like fake guns to the guy's head and all this. Goes in there. He's fucking boxing, standing at mid range. Like, bro, if you got to pick a style, man. Are you a monster puncher who comes forward? Dude, he was boxing him for the first like 2 rounds. Like, what are you doing? Maybe if he would have went in there and tried to blow him out, maybe he would have got him out.
No, I mean, he did trade with them, and I thought that was foolish because I think he just sits in the pocket too long. And yeah, he's just there to. He's not that good.
That guy's very big. I mean, that guy could probably knock out anybody at 158. He's for sure. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but he's doing some special stuff to be that big and be that lean.
You know what? Berlanga was probably facing. Now that I think about it, he was facing guys a little bit smaller than him on the come up. That's why he got to 60 knockouts in the first round, like a division or two, actually, a little bit.
No one's bigger than fucking Shiraz over here.
Quite bigger,
7'9". I mean, I don't know. Just make it up. He's gigantic.
Finally got the icons to work on the fucking OBS. All right. I wanted to ask you this too in regards to that. Also, real quick, in the chat, Desperado said, "Oh man, the chat's moving quickly." Where was that? He said, "Okay." He says, "I just saw the KO in my mind and laugh out loud. I gotta go rewatch the King of Brooklyn fight." I gotta tell you, I usually stay composed during fights, but when Shiraz dropped Berlanga, I actually did get up and I oh yeah, like I said, yeah, because Berlanga was doing just too much talking, man. Too much goddamn talking, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, interrupting Shiraz playing the Jurassic Park theme, and this is what he put up with. I mean, this is the fight he put up.
I was actually kind of excited that I heard the clapper go off, 10 seconds left, and that I knew the round was gonna be over, and I was like, yeah. Hopefully he makes it out of the round so he can catch an ass whooping in the next round.
Hey Gonzalo, I said the exact same thing, bro.
Okay, but with that being said,
that guy talked too much, bro.
With that being said, I know hindsight is 20/20, but should the corner have stopped the fight?
No.
That was a good stoppage. That was very good.
Yeah, I think it was a good stoppage. I think he still could have survived if he had enough defense.
He was going to get knocked out, no doubt about it.
Yeah, because I don't know, should they have stopped the fight in between the rounds where, I'm not going to let you. I understand why they did, because again, this is what I always tell people. This is professional boxing. This high-level stuff here. There's no early stoppages in my book. If the guy gets seriously hurt, guess what? This is what they signed up for. You don't like it? Go watch something else. It's a ruthless sport, and we're ruthless fans to a certain degree. So that's my take on it.
He wasn't making the adjustment. He got dropped. He got up, and they got dropped again.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't gonna go better from there. He's just gonna get clean knocked out.
You're like Christopher Walken.
Enough damage. He took enough damage already, and he was just gonna get knocked out. He didn't even have his balance anymore. You saw him falling over. He fell into the ropes.
Yeah, that's a good point. The second knockdown, the way he fell over, that means his balance is shot. By the way, you sounded like Christopher Walken in True Romance when he hits Dennis Hopper in the nose. And he goes, "You feel that? That's as good as it's gonna get." Meaning
it ain't getting better from there because he don't want to adjust. He wasn't going to adjust to that guy.
It's a good point.
He's going to get knocked out.
It's a good point. Real quick before we leave, though, the Matias fight versus Puello. Did you guys have Matias winning?
I didn't get a close look at. I didn't stare intensely at it because I was setting up my stream. But from what I saw, I thought Matias was winning, and then I saw Mannix's card. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? That doesn't seem like what I'm watching. But I didn't stare intensely at it.
Matias string together a bunch of rounds in the middle part of the fight, like from the 5th to the 9th. And Puello has been pretty consistent and squeaking out close fights in the past where he rallies late. So I think Puello, he stole a couple of the final rounds. But yeah, Matias had built a little lead in the middle rounds that even though Puello kind of caught up, I still think Matias won, but he kind of exposed a little bit of his lack of abilities, boxing technique. I mean, rather.
They just love the guy that got his ass up on the ropes the whole fight. It's like, oh my god, he's winning. He's on the ropes. It's like, okay, he's eating punches. Like,
yeah, it seems, like Shakur, right? Like,
yeah, same thing. Like I looked at Mannix's score. He's giving this guy all the rounds.
Mannix can score a fight. That's the thing. These guys aren't. Oh, Mannix had him winning. Who cares?
His back's on the ropes. He's the ring general. His back's on the ropes. Obviously, it's a ring.
Yeah,
general.
exactly. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
He's limiting his options for movement, but he's winning. Okay. Shit is stupid, man.
These judges can't score fights, and people are gonna be in the chat saying, "No, you're just mad." No, we know they can't score fights. I mean, there's always controversial. Okay, you're a Floyd Mayweather fan, let's say. What do you think about a judge scoring at 114 for Canelo? And Mayweather, somebody scored a draw.
The judges
there's always people. These judges
they're trained professionals.
Terrible.
They're trained professionals. That's what they would say, right? They're trained professionals. You can't go against the judges. All right, then Canelo got himself a draw against Mayweather. That's how competitive the fight was.
He drew against Canelo. Floyd.
I mean, the fight was fucking terrible. So I actually, when I first watched him, like, this fight was
nothing happened. It's again, they called that an ass whooping. I mean, nothing really happened. I mean, Canelo had like a mouse.
She was so
under his eye, but that's pretty much it.
Exactly.
These ass whoopings people talk about, they're not really ass whooping. I mean, Shiraz put an ass whooping on Berlanga. That's an ass whooping.
Oh yeah, that was a beat. That was a knockout.
Like, I don't know.
This guy belt to ass. Meanwhile, he's up on the ropes getting beat by leather all day.
Smiling.
The only guy that got belt to ass was Shakur. Because why? Because the guy got leather gloves on and he's beating the fuck out of him. He's like, but he's not hitting him in scoring zones. Well, he hit him more in scoring zones. But, he's beating him up with his gloves. So, where's the belt to ass? I didn't see any belt to ass. I saw a guy sitting up on the ropes just trying to catch punches.
Yeah.
The Puello thing is he'd been playing Russian roulette with the judges. You guys remember we did a 140-pound episode, 140-pound review a month ago, and we said that about Puello is that all his big wins have been by close decision, split decision, I believe, and he got another one this time. Except this time it finally didn't go his way. And look, do I think he should have won that fight? I'd have to rewatch his score round by round. I did see Puello throwing, like we say in Spanish, the volados, like the more eye-catching hooks, because he was throwing more hooks. But Matias just kept coming, and that's why I always tell people is, look, when a guy comes forward nonstop and lets his hands go, whether they're landing clean or not, you never know. Maybe there's two judges that like that, and they give one guy enough rounds, and that's what happened with Matias. Again,
but he's already got one in the bucket, because look, the ring general is a big part of scoring a fight. And then you got to go by the landed punches, right? So this guy, maybe he'll land 2 more punches than this other dude, right? But Matias, he's got the guy on the ropes, so he's already got one in the bucket. All he's got to do is land like 1 or 2 more punches. That's what it is. That's why it's not very hard to score a fight when a guy's up on the ropes like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty clear that Matias, for the most part, didn't respect Puello's power. I think he had like 10 knockouts.
He looked at power because Matias was getting hit with some of these lead shots. I'm like, wow, this guy can throw a pretty good punch here. So yeah, he could punch, but the guy's up in the ropes. He's hitting the majority of the punches. I thought it was pretty simple to score that. That's why when I saw Chris Mannix's card, I was like, what the fuck? I got to watch this again because I wasn't watching.
Puello threw a few punches here and there, but not consistently. For the most part, Matias didn't respect his power. It was when Puello swung, when he got good leverage on some uppercuts and some hooks, he was able to generate some power, but not consistently.
Yeah. He looked like the crypt keeper, didn't he? That was a little odd.
Well, you call everyone's a crypt keeper with you, fool. Everyone.
That dude looks straight. Did you not see it? He looked like a skeleton. He looked like a brown skeleton. That shit I gotta rewatch some. It's like a straight up brown skeleton.
Yeah, it's true. He's an unusual looking guy. I do have to rewatch some of these Crypt Keeper episodes. There were a lot of celebrities in those shows. Brad Pitt was in one of the early episodes. In the early 90s.
Yeah. The Tales from Crypt is awesome. I have the whole collection.
Lou Diamond Phillips, wasn't it? Lou Diamond Phillips was a regular on the show.
Was he?
I
don't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
Tales from the Crypt.
Valens himself. He was a fake Mexican, right?
He's Filipino.
He's Filipino. Yeah,
Filipino.
What the fuck? I didn't know that.
They always had him playing in Mexican in all the movies. He was like La Bamba, right? Didn't he play Mexican there?
So he's like Iron.
Yeah.
You weren't
I was
where he
shocked when I found out he was Filipino. I was like, what?
Remember he wore the fishnet on his head? He was banging his head into the car. And the cops pulled him over.
Yeah, that's a good way. When he gets the tattoo, right? Or what was it? The
Edward
tattoo
James
that he
almost
gets
got that
like
comb over. Remember the comb over? That was such a good comb over.
You know, I remember there was a time in the 90s when I started confusing Lou Diamond Phillips with Samo.
Oh my God! They don't look alike.
They don't even look anything
like.
man.
There was a time where I guess I was too fucked up or something. I don't know. But listen,
man, you're stoned, man. You're stoned.
Yeah.
But it's like days. I remember James Caan too. He's not Italian, or he wasn't because he's dead now, I think. But he was Jewish. He wasn't Italian. Just because he was in The Godfather doesn't. Yeah. Well, excuse me. Listen, we gotta go, man. It's 1 in the morning here. We'll be back.
Same time here, man. Same time.
Yeah, we'll try to pick this show up again during the week. Maybe get a full panel or maybe an open panel. Fu, are you gonna go live anytime soon, or did you go live today, or were you over at Sobers?
I did. I did a play-by-play of this fight.
Oh, okay. Go check it out, people.
We did like a dual stream because I think Sobers are streaming. He was out partying. I think I saw him. He had some girl in a mechanical bull. I was like, what? The fuck?
Uh-huh.
He was singing over there to the girl, the mechanical bull. That was weird stuff.
I'm gonna check
it out.
If
that's not on the stream, but you can hear him singing.
If the stream is still up,
is sober. He's not Sobers anymore.
Yeah. If it's still up, if it's still up by the time I wake up, I'll check it out.
I think he might still be on right now.
Yeah. Well, I see there's still people over there at. If anybody still wants. They're going all night, I guess. So if anybody wants to go over there, that's Nervous Sobers' Discord. Go check it out. I don't know if I can drop the link because
They're having a party in there.
They're having a party, man. They're doing it all. No Diddy.
They're snorting lines. They're covered in baby oil. The Quags is in there. The Don, on the all kinds of people.
The Don. The Desperado, by the way, in the chat says Tales from the Crypts is the revamp. It's like Leprechaun in the Hood. What does he mean by that?
It is. You want to know what's crazy about Leprechaun? You know how all the horror movies would space? You want to know what's funny about Leprechaun? It ended in the hood. It went to space and then it went to the hood. That's the first horror movie that ever went from space to the hood. And then they had 2 movies in the hood.
You know, Friday the 13th did it the other way, right? They ended up in Manhattan, which is kind of the hood, and then they finally went to space. But they
always end in space. You had Hellraiser, it ended in space. Remember Carnivore? You ever saw Carnivore?
Whoa.
Jason X.
Wait. Hellraiser
ended in space.
Hellraiser
ended in space.
What? I stopped. I never even watched the second one. That's why I don't.
All those movies always ended in space. Leprechaun's the only series back then that actually went to space and then came back and went to the fucking hood and then ended in the hood.
That's not supposed to happen because
it's not.
When the demons got outcast from the heavens, from the real heavens.
Damn, this is getting really deep.
Not supposed to go back up.
Yep. Once you go to the fucking space, there's no going back, right?
The demons are down.
I'm about to go to sleep. Please don't scare me. I don't want
by the way, did any of you ever see Wishmaster?
I need my gold. I saw Wishmaster.
Oh yeah, Wishmaster. Yeah.
The second one when they're in jail. What is it? What he's I forgot the lawyer. What was the thing where he says I want a lawyer? Oh, I forget. No, anyway, I think it ends up with the lawyer sticking his head up his ass or something. those movies are actually.
I remember.
They had, that dude was a Spanish dude, right? The guy that played Wishmaster. He was the guy that was in a Low Down Dirty Shame. He was a coke dealer.
I thought he looks like a wasp.
He always played a drug dealer, and then he played Wishmaster.
What the fuck?
Damn, that movie's amazing. Yeah, that movie's just fucking.
Okay, it's not amazing. It's not amazing.
It's a good movie. That's Clive Barker, right? That's the same guy that wrote Hellraiser.
Whoa. Wishmaster was written by Clive Barker.
Yeah, Clive Barker. Extremely gay. He's extremely gay, right? Gay!
Yeah, I know he is. He's
Why do you think all the dudes wore the leather in Hellraiser?
Wishmaster. It says writer Peter Atkins. I don't think
it was Clive Barker. Maybe it's directed by Clive Barker.
I think you're confusing. Maybe you're another horror movie, which is what was it called again with the bees? Candyman.
Candyman, yes.
He wrote the original.
Candyman. I don't think that was directed by Clive Barker.
No, it wasn't, but it was written. The original story was written by Clive Barker.
Oh, but I bet you that movie Wishmaster was probably directed by Clive Barker. I think
it says Robert Kurtzman.
Was he the writer or the director?
Director, Robert Kurtzman.
Was that the first one? I always thought that was Clive Barker. I think
this dude, hey yo,
either way,
yeah,
he's a Hellraiser guy. Maybe it was Wes Craven. I get him confused all the time. Wes Craven might have directed it. I'm going to tell you right now. I bet you're going to get it.
Yeah, go ahead. By the way, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. We're about to leave, but we just gotta. What's the word I'm looking for?
Peter Atkins. Oh wait! It's a connection there to Hellraiser. It says he's also known for his work on Hellraiser in the Hellraiser films.
Okay, so the guy who directed Wishmaster also worked on the Hellraiser movies.
Maybe that's what I'm getting. Maybe I saw the ad and I thought, but I always thought it was directed by Clive Barker.
You're confusing me.
Oh, it's directed by Wes Craven. Yes, it was directed by Wes Craven.
Which movie?
It was. Yeah, there you go. Wishmaster.
No, it wasn't direct. I just looked it up. Wishmaster 1. It says Robert Kurtzman.
I think you're talking about the writer. I think that's the writer.
It says direct. I'm on imdb.com. I'm going to put it up on the screen. I'm not making shit up.
This shit wrong.
Director
Not you.
Robert
I'm saying
Kurtzman.
they got it all messed up.
IMDb.
Oh,
okay,
dude, look, they're confusing people because it says here, on the thing I'm reading, it says Wes Craven presents Wishmaster.
There you go. So he produced it, but he didn't direct it.
What a bunch of fucking assholes. Why would you put that up there front and center? I always thought it was Wes Craven making his trash.
You know why? That's what they do, man. They to sell, they have to put that as a recognizable name on the marquee. So they go, Wes Craven presents Wishmaster, directed by Robert
exactly.
Kurtzman. Yeah, it's an old
So it had
trick.
nothing to do with either one of the guys I'm talking about. So it was a guy that was connected to Hellraiser, who probably wrote some Hellraiser shit. But it was like you said, it was written by Wes Craven, or actually it was presented, so he just funded it. They got it front and center, huge lettering.
Wes Craven. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet Wes Craven didn't even see Wishmaster? Probably never even his life.
He probably read the screenplay and he was like, "Oh, that sounds cool," and he probably just gave
not even
money,
not even. Maybe he said he read it, but then it turns out he didn't.
Yes, yeah. Just putting his name on there makes money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
absolutely.
The guy that made Nightmare on Elm Street. From the guy that made Nightmare on Elm Street, he thinks his script is cool.
By the way,
so yeah,
LL in the chat dropping Desperado. Excuse me, fuck LL. No, okay, I'm kidding. But Desperado in the chat, I'm learning a lot today. He says Wes Craven, the Dracula 2000, he says, was also a Wes Craven. I was always under the impression he directed Dracula 2000.
Yeah, I know, right? The way they do it, they put it up front and center. It was the same thing with the on HBO. They had a show called Lovecraft Country. People actually thought that it was that guy from Key and Peele that made that. I think it was like he just like funded it. And it was the same for the Candyman reboot.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't direct that shit. He just gave some money.
That's true.
Funded it or something. I don't know. He didn't make any of that shit.
See, I'm going to bet angry now. I'm going to bet angry that they got me. For 20 years, I thought it was Wes Craven that directed it. It wasn't even him. It was some other asshole.
It wasn't. That's fucked up.
We're about to go, but Sobers just dropped in. Sobers, are you there?
What's up?
Are you indeed Sobers? I can't hear him.
Wait, did the parasites get you yet?
Sobers, we
yeah,
can't
bro. I'm, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Are you on a mechanical bull right now?
No, bro. I didn't get on no any bulls.
I saw on your feed there was a girl on a mechanical bull falling off.
Yeah, where were
Oh
you,
yeah,
Sobers?
there's a couple. Yeah.
That was funny.
All right, well, Sobers, man, we were about to leave, man, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts. If you could give them in a reasonable time frame.
On the Zepeda fight with Stevenson.
Sure, whatever, yeah.
All right. Well, because I didn't get to watch the whole fight cleanly, right? Because I was kind of doing something else, but I was watching parts of it, and it was kind of frustrating watching that fight. I don't feel like I was saying, why isn't Zepeda trying to hurt this dude? And then I was watching Stevenson. I was like, why isn't Stevenson trying to hurt this dude? It looked like a fucking spar match. These guys didn't look like. And I was like, why are they fighting in slow motion? I was tripping. Maybe I was fucking looking at the fight in slow motion, but
it was kind of slow motion. It really was.
Like I thought it was just kind of strange, right? You know, I didn't think that Zepeda was looking like he was trying to hit too hard. He was swinging at Shakur's at his elbows and at his gloves. You know, when his hands were clearly down, like, he was still going to the body, and he was like punching him on the gloves. I thought it was very strange. I'm not trying to say the fight was fake or anything, but I was watching it though, like, what the fuck is going on? And
maybe
Stevenson did look like he was trying to hurt him, and he looked like he could have landed more punches if he tried. Right?
Well, we gotta be honest. Like, even if Stevenson wanted to hurt him, of course he can, because he can't fucking punch.
Maybe Sobers, were you on the same? Did you eat some fruit from Food TV's favorite gas station or something? Maybe that's why you were hallucinating or something.
His favorite gas station.
Oh yeah, that fruit is disgusting, man. That shit is so wrinkly.
Yeah, we know. Anyway, listen, fellas.
I'm not kidding. That fruit tastes like alcohol. No doubt. No joke.
Well, Julio takes a girlfriend out to eat, and she's like, "Oh, let's go eat," and he takes her to 7-Eleven.
Oh my god, that's such a good place to eat. I'm telling you, those hot dogs delicious.
Yeah, why not? We don't have 7-Elevens here in Montreal, but if they were, you can bet your keister that I would be there 24/7.
I got a Stewart's. Man. They got the best like shitty hot dogs and meatballs.
Well, there you go.
Well, to sum up that fight, BDA, it was just not very entertaining, and I don't think either guy looked that great.
The card was garbage. I thought the card was kind of trash.
No, Shiraz delivered. He knocked the shit out of Berlanga.
He did.
That was good. That was unexpected. He knocked the shit out of him.
That's two C-level guys, you know.
It was funny watching him go down and like still beating his chest the second time. Like the first time, okay. He was like, the first time, like, okay, man, now he's angry. Now he's angry. You know what I'm saying? He's about to get up and fight.
Like, I'm seeing red.
Right now, he's in the
and
ER.
Then he gets dropped 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't have the same like effect the second time, you know? When you got dropped again and he's like still beating on his chest, like, bro, you about to get fucking stopped.
They're gonna carry him out in a stretcher and he's still pounding his chest.
He's still beating his chest. Yeah.
I got you this time. Like, bro, you
little bro felt tough doing that.
I got you.
Hey,
Dude,
by the way,
too long.
Sobers, before we go, because hopefully we go live one of these days again. Soon. But what did you think about? Because some people, not a lot. I'm surprised. I think people are getting a reality check now with Shakur Stevenson, because he said prior to the fight, he said belt to ass. That's what he kept saying, belt to ass. Did he indeed deliver belt to ass, or what happened?
No, like I was saying, I don't think either guy looked that impressive. You know, Zepeda looked like he looked slower than usual, and even Shakur Stevenson looked slower than usual. And he was lingering too much on the ropes, right? Zepeda lost the fight, right, from what I seen. But I also saw Shakur taking a lot of shots. There was a lot of times where there's long periods of inactivity where he was letting Zepeda throw 15 punches at him, and he didn't throw anything back.
Look, Sobers was riding a mechanical bull when this fight was happening. I scored it. I thought Zepeda outpointed the guy. He outpointed him. But I would definitely not want to see a rematch of this shit. It's garbage.
Yeah, it's they.
I thought it was strange because all of a sudden he's no longer a power puncher. Like, what happened to his power?
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I mean, but look, Zepeda was never a power puncher. Shakur is not a power puncher either.
I seen it, but no, bro, he didn't look like he was throwing anything hard.
He was peppering him, trying to set up openings, I think, but
he was throwing the badoinks. They were both badoinking. They were both badoinking each other. They were badoink. That was the whole fight.
I was terrible.
Yeah, but you know what? But you know what? It's interesting. Listen, keep Shakur Stevenson on the undercards, particularly on televised cards, because he's never gonna really scintillate the crowd. That's just the reality. But
they made a good decision, right? They made a good decision. They put him on the undercard. They put him on the co-main event, and then what's his name, Shiraz.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
When he was doing the shoulder roll, he looked pretty stupid.
And
Zepeda just looked completely confused. He was like, "What is this? Like, bruh, what the fuck? Throw a left hook.
This is madness."
People are gonna say
motherfucker's not doing anything.
People are gonna say you guys
no
are
accuracy. Zepeda, no accuracy, man. He's
People
just
are-
all about throwing volume.
No, yeah,
man.
you're right, Gonzalo. You're right. But people are gonna say you guys are hating. Why you guys be hating? Well, I mean, I expected
Clean-
Belt to us. What do you want from me? I
Clean,
expected Belt to
effective
us, and I didn't get it.
Well,
Belt to ass.
well, that is jarring. That is a jarring left.
There you go, man.
It's you got the two laughs in there. Wow,
that's the patrician's laugh right there. But
that's creepy, isn't it? When somebody's got your laugh, it's almost like a fucking robot. It's like Terminator 2.
Well,
Yes, honey, I'm here.
I would play mine. But mine's a weird laugh. It's almost like a snort, like a pig. So I don't have that one here.
Yeah, I'll get yours, BDA.
There you go.
I'll put it on my soundboard.
Oh boy,
there it is, right there. You see,
and then Sergeant can overplay it when we're on your VC. But listen,
yeah, you can spam it whenever you join.
But yeah, so shout out to you guys. I do have to go. We'll try to be back as soon as possible. I'm working on a couple of things, though, a couple of videos, so we'll see what happens. But shout out to Sobers, shout out to Fu, shout out to Gonzalo, shout out to Vessel, who was here earlier, Bucho, and who else? Vessel, Recognize too. Shout out to Recognize. Everybody that donated with the super chat, everybody that called in. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for making it a great, great show. And that's about it.